Capital One Bowl Mania.
Bowl season rolls right along on a Wednesday night as we welcome you to Houston, Texas for the TaxAct Texas Bowl. The Red Raiders and the Rebels, the Big 12 versus the SEC, and what should be one of the more entertaining matchups of this college football postseason. With Andre Ware, I'm Roy Philbody, and Fitzsimmons joins us on the sideline in just 1 minute. Andre's former quarterback, you know that. I'm a football nerd. You may not know that, but the bottom line is we like offense, we like points. We think we're going to see a lot of that tonight.
Yeah, we think we're going to see it. We got two of the more electric offenses in the entire country. Texas Tech, don't blink, because they go so fast. They run the most amount of plays in all of college football, and Ole Miss has one of the best running games that you are going to witness.
Leading rushing team in the SEC. Rebels won the toss, elected to receive. We are underway inside of NRG Stadium in a great environment tonight. The Rebels with possession first. You got Tortillas in the end zone. What a time to be alive, my friend.
Oh, my goodness. Couldn't wait to get to this one. We've had so many good Friday night games all season long, and when we saw this one show up on the calendar, we felt the same way, that this was going to be a close, entertaining, fun game to be a part of.
Jackson Dart, the starter, a sophomore. He's more like a freshman after transferring in from USC. Former National Gatorade Player of the Year. He has played his best ball late in the season. Zach Evans starts this one in the backfield, the Houston native. And on the first touch, the first play, Evans to the near side, races for a gain of 3.
Evans ought to feel like this is a home game for him, because his high school at North Shore, they basically live in this building every year during the playoffs. A lot of those years are knocking off my high school to advance.
Two backs in the backfield, including the SEC Newcomer of the Year. Dart's going to keep it. He'll have a first down, racing to the 40 and a 10-yard gain.
We saw him down on the field prior to pregame warm-up. He's talking about a big guy. He's built more like a running back at 6'2", 220 than he does as a quarterback. He is well put together.
Yeah, thick lower body. I know that really caught our eye with his overall size. Gauntlet time, flings it, pass is caught. That's a first down to Malik Heath, the Mississippi State transfer, and a gain of 18, Trey.
A guy that can get deep and make plays down the field. He averages about 16 yards per catch, leads this team in receptions and yards. Talk about having a good finish to the year. Malik Heath did exactly that.
So with Judkins and Evans on the field at the same time, it's the first time we've seen that this year. It's Dart who picks up 2 in the top tackle by Tony Bradford.
Oh, Texas Tech kind of getting a taste of their own medicine.
The tempo?
Yeah, the tempo with Ole Miss and Lane Kiffin. I mean, right in their face, running plays in a hurry. This is amazing.
You know, being around these teams this week, it really felt like both programs wanted to be here. No gain on the play. Quickly, it's third down and long for the Rebels on the first possession of the night.
That's a great point on your part, because a lot of who wins a bowl game is who wants to be there the most. And you kind of got a feeling that both teams, they both took part in all the bowl festivities leading into the game tonight. Competitive all during the week, and we felt like we're going to have a pretty good football game tonight.
Interesting start. The first possession for the Rebels. On third down and long, the inside give to Judkins, and stopped well short after a gain of just 2.
And this is not uncommon for Ole Miss to run the football on third and long, because they believe in their running game and trying to get just half of it to get to fourth and medium, but they're not afraid to roll the dice.
29th time this season, the Rebels have gone for it. They've converted on 15 so far. Dart across the middle, and it's incomplete. The slant was broken up, looking for Jonathan Mingo, and it was Malik Dunlap in coverage.
And it went to one of his favorite receivers in Mingo, and he is covered well by Malik Dunlap on the back end. He's going to give Texas Tech some pretty good field position. And if you thought Ole Miss was going fast, do not blink.
Well, an interesting sequence. You hand it off on third and long. The slant pattern's broken up. Texas Tech gets it back with good field position at their own 38. And what a bowl season it has been so far. The Liberty Bowl currently in overtime. And now Texas Tech on its first play from scrimmage, Dre. How about this?
Yeah.
Honoring the late Mike Leach, the head coach in Lubbock from 2000 to 2009. He passed away earlier this month. You see the wide splits on the offensive line.
That's what his offense did. The O-line would split out wide like that to make sure.
The penalties declined. First down.
To make sure they were in man-to-man or one-on-one blocking situations with the offensive line. What a tribute by Coach McGuire and Coach Kiffin.
And you see Coach Leach, the air raid Red Raiders back in the day. Go back to that upset against Texas in 2008 with Michael Crabtree. And Mike Leach impacting so many people and the game itself in so many different ways. Lane Kiffin declined the penalty, of course. Good friends with Coach Leach. He was broken up this month. 4-yard gain on first down to the Red Raiders' first possession. You mentioned the tempo. So Roderick tops it. He's got a first down into plus territory and a gain of 8.
And this is usually, Roy, when they kick into overdrive, is when they have success and have a first down happen. That's when Tech is right on the football and ready to snap it.
Tyler Shuck, the quarterback, 4-0 as the start of this season. He was trucked as he let the football go. And it's second down and 10 with Coleman applying the pressure.
Thompson's got to step in there. That's his pickup coming from the inside. You want the first defender that has a line on the quarterback coming from inside. Outside is the quarterback's responsibility. Everything inside, offensive line and the backs.
Kyrie Coleman was all over that play. Second down from the 49. And this time the pass will be caught. Bungie has it, and a first down for the Red Raiders. Gain of 16, make it 17.
An old-fashioned hitch route that gets turned into a first down. A missed tackle by Prince allowed Fungi to pick up a Tech first down.
3.5 seconds later, here's another snap. Shuck with time, now he's going to take off after the pump fake. And Shuck racing out near the 25, a 6-yard pickup.
You're talking about a super talented quarterback in Tyler Shuck. 4-0 this year, and because of injuries it limited his playing time. 7-1 at Texas Tech in the games that he started after transferring in from Oregon. An NFL type of arm that can make every single throw.
Started the season as the starter, was injured. Tech has had 3 different quarterbacks make starts this year. All 3 through for over 1,000 yards, if you can believe that. Shuck's going to take off again. That's a first down, and he was clocked at the 20. And here comes penalty flags. Ladarius Tennyson met him with authority after the slide had started, and that's a no-no.
And once he gives his body up, you can't touch him. And the official's right there. He slides feet first. That's giving your body up. And there's going to be some extra on the tail end of this.
Stuart Mullins leads our ACC officiating crew tonight.
Personal foul. Late hit on a sliding quarterback. Defense. Half the distance to the goal and an automatic first down.
Well, he went to the head and neck area as well. I'm kind of surprised that the booth hadn't rang down for maybe a targeting penalty. I mean, that's helmet to helmet and the head and neck area.
Michael Webster in the replay booth tonight.
They're being a little lenient because of a bowl game, but usually that's called.
I would argue normally that would get a secondary look.
No doubt about it.
Shuck in a quarterback. Bear Morton also on the field for the first time, and the pass is going to be picked off. Intercepted 2 yards deep in the end zone by Trey Washington. First interception of the season for the sophomore out of Trussville, Alabama.
Shuck a little bit late with the throw in the end zone. Trey Washington, hey, right there to stop a Texas Tech drive.
The TaxAct Texas Bowl is brought to you by TaxAct. File for less and get more.
Well, the Red Raiders posted on Twitter this was not their first rodeo, and Ole Miss indicated it actually was. Not the first time Trey Washington's played well. In fact, we were told by co-defensive coordinator Chris Partridge yesterday he expected a big game for number 25. Rebels get it back after the turnover, and we check in with Ian Fitzsimmons.
Boy, Red Raiders quarterback Tyler Shuck came right over to the bench, told all his teammates that was on me. His offensive coordinator Zach Kitley came over, made a gesture of almost arc the ball, put a little air under it. He didn't, and now they're trying to fix it, Andre.
Yeah, when that last pass, if it had any arc on it, it's 6 points. But he tried to throw it on a line when he was on the move and just didn't get enough air under it. And he paid a heavy price.
Catch by Heath, 3rd down and 3 for the Rebels. Handoff, and I don't think so. A short gain, it'll be 4th and 2. 5 minutes into our first quarter, and it's already been extremely eventful.
And I think Ole Miss, as much as they like going for it, 28 times this year, 54% conversion rate. I don't know about this one. Maybe you're trying to draw Texas Tech off sides, but snapping it would be a no-no.
Michael Trigg on the field. A surprise about his return tonight. And additional beef up front for the Rebels. Second time already they've gone for it on 4th down. Judkins in the backfield, the SEC newcomer of the year. The handoff.
Wow.
No real estate, and down he goes. Penetration. Miles Cole says hello.
In a major way, does number 5, Miles Cole, come up big for the Red Raiders. He just wins inside position, the penetration, and then the finish to give Texas Tech the ball in great field position.
Welcome to the TaxAct Texas Bowl as part of Capital One Bowl Mania here in H-Town. Big 12 versus SEC, just how we like it. College football's postseason. Rebels have gone for it twice on 4th down. They're 0 for 2. And here comes Texas Tech. Their second touch, and a touch for Bradley, and a short gain of 1.
Well, those tunnel screens lead to other things, Roy. You catch a quick tunnel screen, Texas Tech will set it up on a couple of plays, and then all of a sudden there'll be a pump, and the guy that blocks will release up the field, and you're hoping to catch Ole Miss with their eyes on the prize.
He's been all over this early tonight, indicating he should have floated the ball on that interception by Shuck. And that's exactly what Texas Tech was thinking on the sidelines. Thompson, close to 1st down yardage, a gain of 8, maybe 9. Let's see where they spot it.
Nice job by Shuck. You see the 4-0 start this year.
Quick game, tunnel screen. One defender miss, make it 2. It's 1st down and goal. Bradley, pitch, catch, 9-yard pickup.
Nice job by Shuck to get the ball out to the big receiver Bradley at 6'5", a weapon down here in the red zone.
Thompson remains on the field in the backfield. 1st and goal towards the back corner, swatted away at the last minute by Prince.
Shuck's got to see it, Roy, and just trust it. The interception, he waited, and it was too much time. Here, waited a little bit too long, gave the defensive back, Prince, in that instance, a little bit more time than need be to get his eyes on the football. Back at the quarterback, and then getting his eyes on the football to make a play.
Prince, a senior, big-time play in the end zone. 2nd down and goal to go. Shuck to try the right side. Dancing inside the 5, shoved out at the 4. It'll be 3rd down and goal from there.
Well, we've seen Lane Kiffin dial up 4th down plays on 2 occasions. Will Coach McGuire do the same here?
And Trey, that's the 2nd time tonight we've seen Baron Morton on the field the same time as Shuck. 3rd down and goal coming up halfway through a scoreless first quarter. Shuck pulls it out, makes a man miss, the cut and upended near the 2. It'll be 4th and goal. Prince with a stop, and let's see what happens now.
Decision time. It's bowl season. And we came to win, says Joey McGuire, the head coach of Texas Tech. I'm not taking my offense off the field. I'll leave them right here and see if we can get this thing in the end zone.
4th and goal. Morton checks back in. Shuck at quarterback out of the gun. Taj Brooks, the running back. Jumbo set with Morton in motion. He moves under center. They snap it between his legs. Shuck's got the touchdown. Well, that's one way to do it.
Well, I've seen it all. I thought I'd seen it all the other night with the New England Patriots and how they handled the game, trying to close it out, and it cost them against the Raiders. Don't know if I've seen one snapped between a quarterback's legs to another quarterback, and he goes up on his toes to make sure that the ball gets to Shuck. That is unbelievable. That's good stuff by Zach Kittley, the offensive coordinator for Texas Tech.
One of the up-and-coming stars in college football.
He will be a head coach here in a couple of years. There's no doubt about it.
One of the youngest coordinators in the game, only 31 years of age. Trey Wolf checks in for the PAT. Outstanding place kicker for the Red Raiders. And a good start for the team out of the Big 12 tonight. We thought this game would be action-packed. Already 3 attempts going for it on 4th down. Interception in the end zone to a backup quarterback. Extra point is good. 7-0 our new score. And the Texas Tech defense rising tall on 4th down before Tyler Shuck with the honors. 7-0 Red Raiders. 7-0 our score. Back inside NRG Stadium. Capital One Bowl mania rolling right along. Texas Tech leading Ole Miss. Andre Ware, Roy Philpott, Ian Fitzsimmons. We take a look at today's performance update prepared by TaxAct. 2 teams trending in opposite directions at the end of the year. Rebels lost their final 3. Red Raiders won their last 3 contests, including an incredible comeback against rival Oklahoma.
Yeah, and the first time in school history that Texas Tech is able to beat the University of Texas and Oklahoma in the same year, same football season. So you talk about a heck of a finish for Coach Joey McGuire and his group. It was one heck of a finish down the stretch for Texas Tech.
We got tortillas, we got tires, we got things all over the stadium tonight.
Love it.
Just as we love it. That's correct. A wild day. College football's postseason. Hey, playoff isn't even here yet. Imagine what that's going to be like coming up later this weekend. So we check in again with Fitzy.
Guys, after that wild play design from offensive coordinator Texas Tech, where he put backup quarterback Baron Morton not in motion, not once but twice, had him come under center, got on his tippy toes, snapped it between his legs to starting quarterback Tyler Shuck for a touchdown run. Players coming over to Baron Morton and Shuck going, I can't believe that worked.
I bet they put in a lot of work during the week with that one, Ian, and to make sure that by game day they were going to be able to execute it and to perfection.
Fitzy gave us a tippy-toe. I'm thinking about a George Costanza Seinfeld reference somewhere. That was well executed. Rebels have turned it over on 4th down each of their first 2 possessions tonight. Evans in the backfield, the Houston native. Time for Dart. Has a man wide open and a chunk play for Ole Miss. It's D-Wade, Dayton Wade, the Western Kentucky transfer, and a gain of 37.
Boy, he is so electric with the ball in his hands. They love to run him on speed sweeps. He's an explosive player that if you give him a crack of daylight, he can take it to the house.
Using tempo, screen pass, Malik Heath made one man miss, tripped up inside the 20. Just like that, Ole Miss inside the red zone after a 19-yard gain.
Well, they are not going to linger on 2 4th down stops. They're right back in your face, pushing the action, pressing the gas.
I mean, it feels like it's less than 5 seconds between snaps. Evans with a pat, big collision at the 15, 5-yard gain on 1st down. The Fry made the stop.
Well, they want to go so fast. Evans, he hustles the ball back in, places it for Reddy.
2nd down and 5. Evans straight ahead. Barrels his way for a 1st down, a gain of 6. He was stoked about playing in this game. He talked to the media this week, coming back home. He's now healthy again. And I think that makes a big difference for the Rebels' rushing attack. Stay with the hot hand. Evans towards the end zone for the touchdown from 8 yards out. Little home cooking, it feels better back in H-Town.
Must have microwaved that cooking because that was quick. I mean, you put it in the microwave, got it cooked in a hurry, and Evans into the end zone after just a couple of plays for Ole Miss.
75 yards in just 5 snaps. It took less than 90 seconds off the clock. Jonathan Cruz on the field for the PAT.
One pass to Wade in that entire drive.
I think there was a couple of moments this season on a Friday night where you looked at me in the booth and said, partner, it's time to buckle up. I'm going to tell you that right now.
Buckle that seatbelt, my man.
Zach Evans with the honors. We are tied at 7, 10 minutes in here in Houston. Oh, it's coming up. It's going to be here before you know it. Yeah. The college football playoff semifinals on ESPN. ESPN Deportes and the ESPN app. Number 2 Michigan, number 3 TCU in the Verbo Fiesta Bowl. That's at 4 Eastern coming up. And number 1 Georgia, 4th ranked Ohio State Chick-fil-A Peach Bowl. Winners will play Monday, January 9th.
Just wondering if TCU is going to have just enough defense to get enough stop. They're going to have enough offense. Can they stop Michigan enough to be in that game in the 4th quarter?
Can I go ahead and give you the answer to that?
Yeah.
It's amazing to me how TCU has been painted as this massive underdog in this game against Michigan. They're a 7.5-point underdog. It would not be a monumental upset. TCU, Max Duggan.
Totally agree with you.
Quentin Johnston. They're going to beat Michigan. And let me go on the record as to be the only person on television to suggest it. Red Raiders get it back, tied at 7.
Get big fella.
I'm just telling you, everything's quicker in Texas as well. We've seen that this year with these 2 teams. We've seen it on display tonight with how many plays they want to run.
Real time per play. You see the ranks there, the plays per game. It will come at you. Tech first and Ole Miss 6th, and I think you've got a taste of it. And what we were talking about at the top of the show, don't blink, is these teams play at warp speed.
Did you like that pick of TCU? Did I surprise you with that?
Yes, you did.
I think the only person in college football that thinks that. Quick toss goes to Price. Turned around, the ball was ready and waiting after a 6-yard gain. The stop by A.J. Finley, who's healthy for the Rebels.
And those guys in TCU's locker room, they agree with you. They feel that way.
Upper left-hand corner, you'll see the amount of seconds in terms of real time between snaps for the Red Raiders. Xavier White with a grab. Close to 1st down yardage. A 4-yard pickup. That should be enough to move the chains, and it is. Reese ushered him out.
Xavier White, one of those receivers we talked about with 20 or more catches, 42 to be exact. 8 of them on this Texas Tech offense.
A lot of weapons in this game for both sides. In the backfield, at running back and at wide receiver. And a big gainer on the way for the Red Raiders. Taj Brooks shoved out after a gain of 27.
What a block by Baylor Cupp on the outside. Kind of clears an opening for Taj Brooks, who patiently worked his way through the hole. And it's big KD Hill who's slow to get up.
It's a 37-yard gain on the run. KD Hill, as you mentioned, Dre, requiring some assistance. The Red Raider fans in here, and there's a good number, not exactly agreeing with this sequence, if you know what I mean.
Well, yeah, he's working on that hamstring, a big KD Hill, and I'm betting that Texas Tech's seen its fair share of hamstrings grabbed with the pace of their offense throughout this season.
Joey McGuire just given a 6-year, $26.6 million contract extension today. That news coming out just hours ago.
I met him at Big 12 Media Days, and you want to talk about a guy that you just sense the passion in how much he loves the game of football, how much he loves coaching and developing young men. And then it was just kind of reinforced this week when we had a chance to talk to him yesterday and a chance to see him at the luncheon yesterday. He loves what he's doing, and he loves young men.
Baron Morton back on the field, lining up in the slot towards the bottom of your screen. And now in motion. Two quarterback formation. They'll fake the pass. Double pump fake, and the screen is incomplete to Price. Well, no magic there with what appeared to be a borderline trick play.
Not sure why Shuck was holding the ball so long when two receivers were open. Boyd there waiting for it to be delivered, and just a little bit late getting it to him.
Was he thinking about being too greedy and just couldn't get what he wanted deep down the field, perhaps?
I think that was the case. Looking downfield, wanting more. Just take what's there.
Good start for Shuck after that interception. Pounded down inside the 25. A short gain. It'll be 3rd down and 9. The tackle by Troy Brown, who's also healthy for Ole Miss, and that's a big-time story.
Yeah, it is. He's a playmaker, sideline to sideline type player, very athletic. He can do it all. He's been the leader for that group.
Out pattern. It was caught. That's a 1st down. A gain of 11 to Jaron Bradley.
Bradley with that 6'5" frame. We mentioned it earlier. When he gets down close to the red zone, he is a guy they like a lot. 5 touchdown passes on the year
Really
for
on
receptions.
The previous play was a completed catch. That play is under further review.
Redshirt freshman out of Frisco.
He has got a lot of football to play. Had a heck of a game against Oklahoma when he went for 173 yards receiving.
And did he have total control as he came down? Our replay official tonight, Michael Webster. The ball can touch the ground, but it has to be firmly possessed. And you do see it move there. That is a close call for our replay booth tonight. And I'm guessing that, thinking that that'll be ruled incomplete.
That's close.
Call on the field is important, and they did rule it a catch, so keep that in mind.
The offensive side of me wants to say catch, because it doesn't move that much.
It'll be 4th and 9 if the call on the field is overturned. Well, we've seen a little bit of everything so far this fast-moving first quarter. Now, Lane Kiffin, you go back to last month, there were rumors about him going to Auburn to become the new head coach on the Plains. Got into a Twitter battle regarding his future in the SEC. He stayed with Ole Miss. He's in it for the long haul in Oxford now. An up-and-down season. Rebels rose to as high as 7th in the country, undefeated at one point at 7-0. And LSU on the ropes on the road after that. Injuries and things started to change quickly entering the end of October. And for Texas Tech, it has been an entirely different story. Closing in strong fashion and awaiting the ruling here to see if Bradley made the catch in the 1st down or not. Ian Fitzsimmons has more. Ian.
Well, when you and I and Andre were talking to Zach Kittley, offensive coordinator for Texas Tech, we asked him, give us one player who hasn't gotten enough national pub coming into this game. And guys,
after further review, the receiver did not have firm possession of the ball when he went to the ground. The pass is incomplete.
Kittley's going to
at the 24-yard line.
Kittley's not going to like us telling this story right now, because he told us Bradley is one guy who's going to be a star. He's a redshirt freshman, and the ceiling is 1st-round type pick. He loves his young wideout, number 9.
Yeah, he's from a great high school program, DeSoto. All they do is win in DeSoto, so you can see exactly why they like Bradley and very high on his future going forward.
Trey Wolf, 18 of 21 in the field goal department from the left hash from 42 yards out. As the incompletion forces 4th down and 9, and Wolf gives Texas Tech the lead. This season, All-State will celebrate every field goal and extra point made by participating universities by making a donation the university's General Scholarship Fund. Thank you once again, all states. I mean, we've seen so many fourth down conversions in this first quarter. I was semi-surprised Joey McGuire didn't want to go for it.
It gets about 4th and 5. Joey McGuire would go for it. So with it being 4th down and 9, I think the smart decision, especially here early in the game, is to go ahead and take the points.
I would agree with that. You see Texas Tech already 20 plays in this first quarter. Rebels will get it back. Our friends in Memphis continue to have a jolly good time after Christmas. Moving into a third overtime at the Liberty Bowl tonight, Andre. Kansas and Arkansas tied at 53 over on ESPN.
What a job they've done in Kansas this year. Really putting the Big 12 on notice for future years to come.
Wade has it inside the 5 and stopped short of the 20, back at the 17. Now former ACC rivals square off in our first game coming up as bowl season rolls along tomorrow. Duke's Mayo Bowl, Maryland, and top 25 NC State's up first at noon. Notre Dame and South Carolina headed your way in the TaxSlayer Gator Bowl. That is at 3:30. These games coming up on Friday. Gamecocks and the Fighting Irish both ranked to be a great win in Jacksonville.
Tomorrow.
That's correct.
What Maryland can do, be tuned into that one.
He's done a nice job in College Park.
It really has.
The bowl season has just ratcheted the action up a couple of notches. Almost 2 weeks in. Lose track of the days. All the games coming up, including the college football playoff. On first down, pocket collapsing. Dart gonna be dropped. He'll get back close to the original line of scrimmage, a 2-yard setback. And the tackle was made by Isaac Smith.
Redshirt freshman off the edge, getting home.
Second TFL of the season for number 17. Originally from Oklahoma. Inside handoff. No running room, no gain, third down and long. Kosai Eldridge tackled Judkins.
I mean, tempo is designed to wear you down. Texas Tech, I don't know that that's going to happen to their defense because they play it, they see it in practice every single day, and their offense outpaces the tempo in which Ole Miss executes.
Third down and long. Dart pass is caught right at the line to gain. Let's see where they mark it. It's enough for a first down, a 12-yard pickup on 3rd and 12.
You talk about being a game of inches. I mean, an inch away from being just about being sacked by Hutchings, the nose tackle.
Heath, the reception. He's been active in this first quarter. They'll set up the screen the other way. A nifty move by Jonathan Mingo. Nearly stayed in bounds. That's enough for another first down, a 13-yard gain.
Excellent block by Dayton Wade. An unselfish play by another receiver to free up a teammate out in space.
Give him a pancake on that one.
Yeah, no doubt. Put a guy on his back.
Now Mingo returning. That was a significant piece of news for Ole Miss in this game. After losing the Egg Bowl, he said, I didn't play my best. Our team didn't play our best. We have something to prove before he bolts for the National Football League. And Mingo likely to be a high draft pick. Banks applying the pressure that time, and due to Banks getting after Jackson Dart.
They like to line Mingo up to the left of the formation. A good downfield threat. And the coaches, they love what he brings to the field each and every time he's out.
Handoff. Racing ahead across the 45 is Judkins. A 7-yard gain. Prior to that carry, Andre had 6 rushing attempts for just a yard. Picks up 7 there.
Which is uncharacteristic of him because he leads the SEC in touchdowns and yards rushing.
On third down, another handoff, no gain. And Rodriguez with the tackle at the line forces 4th down again for Ole Miss.
And with it being early, doesn't surprise you that Lane Kiffin going to dial it up again here on 4th down.
But showing I formation and play action. Dart's going to heave one deep. Double coverage. Intercepted.
It's a great play, but you're just hoping for him to drop it. Tony Bradford, the North Shore product, with great pressure on Jackson Dart, but this is almost like a punt.
Demerson should have just batted that one down.
Knock it down, and you get the ball back across midfield again in excellent field position.
Second pick of the season. It is like a punt.
That's exactly what he's being told by one of the coaches on the Texas Tech staff, is to just knock that down and take the ball back across midfield.
It's a 35-yard punt that was down in the red zone, so to speak, inside the 20. And they'll spot it at the 18. Kind of an unusual play on 4th down. Ole Miss continuing to struggle on 4th down so far tonight, Andre.
Just turnover, 2 stops.
Fungi has it, and the near side grab for a gain of 6. Now, congratulations to Arkansas, found a way against Kansas. An eventful start as we welcome you to Houston, Texas. TaxAct Texas Bowl, Ole Miss and Texas Tech. And the Red Raiders have jumped out to a 10-7 lead. Ole Miss has gone for it on 4th down on 3 occasions. They are 0 for 3. Red Raiders have taken advantage.
Stop
3-point advantage
on 2 occasions. And then an interception.
15 minutes in the books. Welcome those that watch the Liberty Bowl. Plenty of fireworks here in the Lone Star State. And welcome back to the TaxAct Texas Bowl as part of Capital One Bowl Mania. Wednesday night in prime time, H-Town, Andre Ware, Roy Philpott, Ian Fitzsimmons, our game summary. Well, an active first quarter, including 0 for 3 on 4th down for Ole Miss, a pick thrown by Tyler Shuck, a pass that was intended for the backup quarterback, Baron Morton. And if you're just tuning in, you've missed a lot. Red Raiders have it with a 3-point advantage and a good crowd on hand tonight as well here in the Lone Star State. That's been enjoyable. A bowl game that feels like it has meaning. Start of our second quarter, Red Raiders 1st and 10. Play clock winding down quickly. Taj Brooks a touch. 2-yard gain on 1st down. Red Raiders will go fast as we've documented. Literally, they run more plays per game than any team in America.
Brooks, he splits time about 50. It's about 50-50 split with Thompson. And I don't know how Zach Kitley has been able to keep the carries that close. Thompson only has 1 less carry than Brooks, 133 to 132 for the season.
Taylor Cupp in motion. Shuck will keep it. Tried to make a defender miss, couldn't do it. Lasso down after a short gain. A.J. Finley, Kyrie Coleman stop him after a gain of just 2.
Kind of gets them to 3rd and medium where they can convert and keep the entire playbook open here with 3rd and 5.
4th down, it is not a given that either one of these teams will punt the football from any place on the field tonight.
Watched Ole Miss go for it deep in their own territory and come up short.
Brooks another touch. Shifty move. Close the line to gain. It should be enough, and it is. That's a 1st down.
They're going to signal for the change to move. And another fresh set of downs for Texas Tech.
And here comes the tempo for Joey McGuire's team. Brand new contract totaling 6 years, almost $27 million. That was announced today. Shuck wants to make NFL money. He was hit hard near the head after a 9-yard gain. Multiple penalty flags fly, and it was Troy Brown that clipped him awkwardly.
And they got to settle down Monroe Mills, who is taking care of his quarterback. And anytime Shuck goes feet first, just keep your hands off of him, because you don't have to touch him down in college football. once he gives himself up, right here is defenseless. You cannot hit him, and that's going to draw a flag each and every time by Troy Brown.
Well, we talked about the fact that Troy Brown is healthy. His injury this season was
After
costly.
the play was over, personal foul, late hit, number 8, defense, 15-yard penalty, and an automatic. First down.
There was contact that came in high. You talked about a defenseless player. And you wonder if Michael Webster, our replay official,
further review to look at the possibility of targeting.
Will do what he's doing right now.
And I thought exactly that earlier in the game when Shuck ran and was contacted and got hit late. I thought it should have been called in. This time they're at least taking a look at it.
Well, Brown, one of the top linebackers in the SEC for head coach Lane Kiffin. NFL potential for sure, and that hit does not look to be kind.
No, there is a lunge. A couple of activators in terms of what replay officials are looking for. Head and neck area. And that's going to get him tossed right there. I would be totally surprised if Tony Brown plays another snap in this game.
Troy Brown, the senior from Flint, Michigan.
Troy Brown. Sorry about that. I'd be totally surprised if Troy Brown continues on after that play.
Transfer out of Central Michigan. And this is an absolute enormous call early in our second quarter. 91 tackles this year. He's been all over the place when he's healthy. And you go back to that LSU game, ended up being Ole Miss's first loss of the season. Injuries to Troy Brown, A.J. Finley, no Cedric Johnson tonight up front. That's significant.
Well, he's their leader on defense, Troy Brown is. I mean, he's the leader. He's the one that Coach Partridge talked about in terms of giving this group on defense leadership. He went right to him and talked about how athletic he was, how much of a playmaker both he and Coleman, the linebacker on the other side of Brown, both are. I'm thinking this is targeting, my man.
Fitzy.
I'm telling you guys, if they lose Troy Brown right now,
after further review, there was targeting on the play by number 8 defense. He is disqualified from the game.
That is a massive loss for this Ole Miss defense. When he went out with that shoulder injury against LSU, when we saw him there, I mean, the defense completely changed. He is their alpha. He is their leading tackler. He is their heart and soul. That is going to be tough to overcome for this Ole Miss defense.
Sistrup steps on the field, 36 in the blue and white tonight for the Rebels. 1st and 10 for the Red Raiders inside the Ole Miss 40. Brooks, the running back, delayed handoff. And a couple of stutter steps, bolting ahead across the 35, a gain of 4, tackled by Robinson.
A nice kick out block by Monroe Mills, the right guard, right tackle that's pulling around the transfer from Oklahoma State.
Cowboys had a tough loss last night against Wisconsin. Talking about the Big 12. Here's time for Shuck. Escapes the pocket, avoids one tackler, racing out near the 30, about a gain of 3, maybe 4. For number 12 in red.
This guy outraces Jared Ivey, the defensive end, who could not catch up with him, and it's a nice positive gain on 2nd down to bring up 3rd down and short. So it gives you the ability, if you're Texas Tech, to either run it here on 3rd down or stay with the passing game.
10th play of the drive coming up for the Red Raiders. Won their last 3 games to close down the regular season. Ufunji on the screen. He stays in bounds, finally ushered out inside the 5. 26-yard gain.
What you like, Roy, is Fungi didn't, no hesitation, get up the field. So many times you have to coach that into players that, hey, don't bubble around, don't try to make a guy miss. Know the sense of what's called for on 3rd down and short, pick up the 1st down, and let's live with the result.
1st down and goal for Texas Tech.
Be aware from Bradley right here. Big 6'5", talented redshirt freshman receiver.
He goes in motion. Shuck's going to keep it. Shot spinning. Stop just short. 2-yard gain. Prince made the tackle, preventing the touchdown.
He has taken some shots in this game. Keeping the ball, then you're at the defense's mercy. They can hit you then, but when he gives his body up, he's still getting hit.
We've seen 9 runs, 2 pass plays so far on this drive for the Red Raiders. Shuck has the only touchdown for Texas Tech so far. That came on 4th and goal and a trick play back in the first. Brooks, no crease available. He's going to lose a yard. It was J.J. Pegues. Oh, the penetration that time by Ole Miss was legit.
They kind of reestablished the offensive line, didn't they? I mean, excellent penetration, as you mentioned. And that's how you make a play in the backfield.
Red Raiders 3 of 3 on 3rd down on this drive. Baron Morton back on the field.
Maybe now it's time for Bradley.
Well, he had his hand on the turf for a moment. Now motion's out. Morton back in. Morton's going to get a touch and a pass, and it's incomplete. Looking for Price. It's 4th and goal.
Running a lot of trickery with the 2 quarterbacks in the formation. The last couple of times they've got down here inside the 5-yard line. And they are staying on the field offensively here on 4th down.
4th down and goal. Empty backfield for Shuck, and here we go. Shuck, the screen, blockers. Not this time. Stopped inside the 2. Xavier White made the play, and he had no path to the end zone.
Had him outmanned initially, but Ole Miss able to get out there, cover it up, and stop Texas Tech shy of the goal line.
The TaxAct Texas Bowl is brought to you by Capital One. What's in your wallet?
All the great events that have occurred here inside of NRG Stadium over the years. My daughters, Anna Catherine and Piper, would be very excited about Taylor Swift. They're Swifties like the rest of us. Another story of another day. Andre Ware, Roy Philpott. I mean, this game has been incredible. A 4th down stop again, and this time made by the Rebels.
Yeah, I'm kind of blown away just at the scoring opportunities in this game. But both coaches have neglected to do so. Forget the points. We want the big ones. So we're going to keep drives going. And then the defenses for both teams stepping up at times and making some big plays.
You look good on camera, by the way. It's the first time that's happened.
Man, I like that.
I like it as well. Good to be seen. Rebels get it back. Poor starting field position inside their own 5. Judkins, a running back. SEC newcomer of the year. Did it all for the Ole Miss rushing attack this season, along with Zach Evans. Pass complete to Malik Heath, and a gain of 8 on 1st down.
That's a heck of a throw by Jackson Dart. They just it can't really step into it. It's all arm, but enough arm strength for a completion and a big play on 1st down.
Pressure coming in by Miles Cole. Screen pass set up. Jordan Watkins hit hard. 1-yard pickup, and that's it. Well, Rabbit Demerson able to make the play. 25 in red, had an interception earlier in this one. Just like that, it's 3rd down and 1. Judkins, a running back. He's rushed for almost 1,500 yards this year.
Gonna get there.
I don't think so. Eldridge, no gain on the play, and it's 4th down again for Ole Miss.
And I got to believe that at this point, Lane Kiffin's got to punt it away. I mean, they're showing you they own the line of scrimmage in obvious running situations, not allowing this Ole Miss rushing attack to get itself started. And I believe they're just going to come to the line of scrimmage, hard count, try to get Texas Tech to jump off sides. Certainly not going to snap it at the 11-yard line.
Haven't converted on 4th down yet tonight, and they've gone for it a bunch. Judkins, the running back. He'll get it. And he'll have the 1st down, but not by much.
Wow.
Have you ever seen a team go for it this many times and this deep in their own territory?
Twice on their end of the field. Never this deep, because you're essentially giving points away if you don't convert. But hey, they converted.
Unbelievable scene so far near the TaxAct Texas Bowl. Across the middle, the slant is there. That's a first down, and there is a penalty marker back at the 20. And we'll check the infraction. The reception made by the healthy tight end Michael Trigg, again at 21.
Ineligible receiver downfield. Number 0. Offense. 5-yard penalty. First down.
Trigg obviously was not covered up, so he can't release down the field. It becomes an illegal formation. So that one's going to come back, and it'll be first down and 15 for Ole Miss.
(10-7) our score. After the infraction, 1st and 15.
A lot of movement for Texas Tech up front.
Play action for Dart. Pass floats and it's intercepted. Waters has it. Muddy Waters. Another big play for the Red Raiders. Well, we heard from Tim DeRuyter, the defensive coordinator for the Red Raiders. Muddy Waters isn't scared of anything. He's going to show you that tonight. Welcome back to the TaxAct Texas Bowl. 3-point lead for the Red Raiders. An interception by Muddy Waters, who came into this game leading the country in tackles for loss as a defensive back. What happens here with Jordan Watkins?
Yeah, it's just a mix-up by Watkins. He's thinking it's zone coverage for some reason. It is man-to-man all the way, and his route should have continued. It allowed Muddy Waters to step right in front of him and pick the ball off. Had he stayed on his route, maybe it's knocked down, it's an incomplete pass, and you come back on second down. But when he stopped thinking it was zone coverage, that gave the right-of-way to Waters, who came up with a big-time interception.
Red Raiders have it first down and goal. So Roderick Thompson back in at running back in his final game at Texas Tech. Productive start. 2 carries, 15 yards so far for number 4 in red. He'll fake it his direction. There's a lob to the end zone, and it is incomplete. Ball came out late. Fungi, the intended receiver, in an active first half.
Well, it's tough to defend down here because you're facing guys like Fungi, who's 6'4". You got Bradley on the other side, who's 6'5". The corners go 6'2" and 6 foot for Ole Miss. So
Igby Nosen made another nice play there, by the way.
Advantage Red Raiders down here inside the 10.
Second down and goal. Morton motions around. Shuck's going to keep it. And a far side scramble stops short of the 5, a 3-yard gain, and that's it. Trey Washington, that initial contact on Shuck.
Henry Teeter, tight end, lining up kind of like an H-back pulling. He's out in front to a nice block for Shuck.
Andre, it feels like this entire first half has been 3rd down and goal, 4th down and goal for both teams.
And a bunch of stops and mistakes.
3rd and goal once again. Trips bottom of the screen pass. I don't think so. Again, Ole Miss read that beautifully. As Trey Washington met Jaron Bradley. It'll be 4th and goal from the 3 this time.
Neither coach shy about going for it on 4th down. 61% is our Texas Tech or the Red Raiders on 4th down situations during the regular season.
Timeout call. 7:03 remaining in our first half. 4th and goal coming up when we return.
The TaxAct Texas Bowl is brought to you by TaxAct. File for less and get more.
Couldn't get the picture.
One last rodeo with Ole Miss and Texas Tech. What a game this has been. NRG Stadium.
And another 4th down conversion here.
4th and goal for the Red Raiders. Thompson in the backfield. Shuck's going to keep it again. Shuck dives in the end zone, and he's got the touchdown. 2nd score of the night for number 12 in red, and Joey McGuire loves it.
He decided to take on DeAndre Prince. Prince went low, Shuck went over the top and into the end zone. And one guy to beat, and it's about half a yard between that defender and the goal line. Shuck wins out and extends his team's lead.
Andre, he's 6'5", 230. He's a senior. He started his career at Oregon. He's got the size. He's got the arm strength. He's coming off a career high 430 yards against Oklahoma. I mean, this guy's got some potential. Extra point is good.
I saw him last year in the opening game of the season get off to a great start against my alma mater, the University of Houston, in this building. He got hurt in that game and was out for an extended period of time, but you knew right then he could deliver the football through the air. I mean, there is nothing, not a place on this field he can't touch passing the football.
This season, All-State will celebrate every field goal and extra point made by participating universities by making a donation to the university's General Scholarship Fund. Thank you, All-State. 17-7 as we catch our breath for a moment. What do you want to see different out of Jackson Dart and Ole Miss on offense on this drive?
Well, I can tell you on his sideline is protect the football. And you got to get on the same page with your receivers. I'm sure he's had that conversation with Watkins to see exactly what coverage Texas Tech is in before the ball is snapped.
Well, no context college football is going to have a ton of fun with that sequence. Under 7 to go in our first half.
I've seen mascots do push-ups, not players in uniform on game day.
I mean, we've got tortillas flying, we've got fireworks, we've got 4th and goal the entire first half. TaxAct Texas Bowl has been quite an act so far. But if you're just tuning in, or perhaps you were watching the Liberty Bowl, Jackson Dart on 4th down, pass batted down on Ole Miss's first possession. Here's a trick play and an interception. That pass was intended for the backup quarterback. Another 4th down stop for the Red Raiders. Shuck has scored twice in the first half. And Ole Miss with the lone touchdown so far, with Zach Evans returning home to Houston to give the Rebels their 7. And here we are at 17-7. I'm not sure really what's next.
You got me, partner. I'm not speechless much, but I'm surprised at all the 4th downs, where the 4th down conversions are taking place, especially for Ole Miss, twice deep on their end of the field.
Evans in motion on the jet sweep, a nifty move, and he spun down short of the 30, a 4-yard gain.
He has been something else. He's kind of given some life and a spark to this running game of Ole Miss.
5 carries, 27 yards for Evans. TCU transfer. Pass to Trigg. It'll be ruled incomplete.
And it just got out of his hands and found its way to the turf. And a big 3rd down here. We know from things that have transpired already in this game that it's 4-down territory anywhere if you're on Lane Kiffin's side of the field.
I mean, you're starting to wonder if Ole Miss's punter made the trip to Houston.
Who's coming on? They've got 2 defensive linemen coming in. Somebody's got to leave the field.
On 3rd down and 6, the pump fake by Dart, the pass in the turf and ruled incomplete.
It's the pressure. The pressure on Dart is they're getting there, and if they're not getting there, they're in his line of sight to the receiver where he can't step into the throw. You see the blitz coming here, can't really step into that, doesn't have enough on it. And if it did, it may have been going the other way by Rashad Williams. First punt in the game.
Price back deep to receive. 11 total possessions so far in this game. And this is our very first punt despite all the 4th downs.
You got to keep your head on a swivel here.
And it's going to be a fake. And it's going to be stopped short of the line to gain. The snap was retrieved by Wade. And he is stopped 3 yards short.
And you can see the formation that Ole Miss was lined up in, that there may be a little trickery going on. And indeed it was. Well played by Texas Tech. Taylor Demerson on Dayton Wade. And again, Texas Tech with a short field.
What is your perspective right now on the aggressive calls on 4th down for Lane Kiffin?
You know, that book that they talk about in terms of when to go for it or you go for it on 4th down. I'm not all that big into analytics because that may work for somebody else's team and not work for yours.
Fake punt on 4th and long is denied. Shuck darts ahead for close to a first down. Down to Ian Fitzsimmons.
There are times, guys, where I'm all about going for it on 4th down, but as Kalani Sitake, head coach BYU, told me last year, the data might tell you to get from the 3rd floor to the ground is to jump out the window, but it's not the smartest thing to do.
Absolutely, and especially on your end of the field, how deep you are in your own territory. A couple of occasions here for Ole Miss. Ball should have been punted.
Christmas coming late for Joey McGuire with the contract extension announced today. 6 years, $26.6 million, and all the 4th down attempts by Ole Miss tonight. It has been a good day so far for the Red Raiders and their future.
And to Ian's point, I mean, it's turning into points now for Texas Tech. It's not just, you know, a stop here and there. You're giving up field goals. They're getting in the end zone because of the lack of converting on 4th down and where the chances are being taken by Ole Miss.
Thompson and Brooks in the backfield. Zach Kittley, the offensive play caller, one of the bright up-and-coming stars in this profession. He's not even 32 years old. Thompson motions out. Shuck's going to keep it again. Across the 35, and that's it. Right back to the line.
Short of the first down, and Texas Tech sent its kicker on the field.
Sistrunk made the tackle to force the 4th down.
Trey Wolf, they tell us 50 to 51 yards and in. That's his range. But they're going to keep the offense on the field here on 4th and 2. And this is more likely a 4th
Previous
down
plays under
situation
further review to look at the possibility of targeting.
to where you would go for it here. And another targeting penalty being looked at here by the replay officials.
We'll step aside in Houston. 4th and short coming up, we think. Matt Berry, thank you very much. Back here in Houston, we've already seen 8 combined 4th down attempts tonight and make it number 9, and we're on the verge of setting a record. 4th and 2. Here's the pass in the flats, and that's enough to move the chains. Now the reception by Henry Teeter and a 5-yard gain on 4th and short.
Just a nice quick throw. Rewarding Teeter for a block he threw earlier in the game. Came in with just 5 receptions on the season.
Sound like you got emotional there on the pass to the tight end on 4th and short. Takes you back to your run and shoot days.
No tight end in that system.
Screen pass to Thompson. It is blown up for a loss of 5, maybe 6. Miles Battle snipped that one out.
And I'm telling you, that pump fake is on the way, Roy. Got a lot of defenders playing aggressively on tunnel screens, on slip passes out of the backfield to backs. They're coming up hard. It's going to be a nice hard pump by Shuck and a delivery of the ball down the field.
Approaching 3.5 to play in our first half. 2nd and 16. Fake the jet sweep. Toss it out in the flats. He'll get some of that yardage back. Xavier White. 3-yard gain, and that's it. 3rd down.
Tackle by Miles Battle in the open field. One of the things that they said they had to do is handle the tempo and be physical out on the perimeter when you're out there by yourself. Make sure you're making the tackle.
3rd down and long. Shuck buys some time, completes the pass. Bradley makes a move, then gets crushed. Hit hard at the 15, a 6-yard gain. 4th down. Now Tennyson laying the lumber that time for Ole Miss.
Go ahead and take the points here.
I'll take your word for it. Wolf back on the field, already made a field goal earlier tonight from 42.
Last time we thought we were going to get a kick, it turned into a fake, right?
That's why I said I'm taking your word for it. You said they're kicking. I guess I believe you. 32-yard attempt here from Wolf, who's only had 3 misses all season in the field goal department. And a chip shot on the way on 4th and 5. And Wolf has been automatic just about all season long after they alternated kickers the early part of 2022. And don't forget, Kevin, on Friday night, a lot of orange down at Hard Rock Stadium in Miami. Number 6 Tennessee takes on 7th-ranked Clemson. 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific, right here on ESPN, ESPN Deportes, also on the app. How about Joe Milton, Cade Klubnik, starting quarterbacks? A totally different scene down near sunny South Beach, and Klubnik was spectacular in the win against North Carolina in Charlotte last month.
I think he's a special talent that the future is very bright at Clemson with him under center.
Texas native, had waited for his time. He took advantage in relief of DJ Uiagalelei, who will be playing for football next season at Oregon State, in a bit of a surprise announcement in the last week.
Got a chance to see them earlier this year.
That's a good program.
It's a very good program.
Yeah, Jonathan Smith. Well, how about the job they did to Florida in Las Vegas? It was 2 weeks ago now. Just ending their season with a bang. Red Raiders set to receive the second half kickoff after halftime. It makes this possession even more important for the team from the Southeastern Conference. And they'll get it at their own 25.
Ole Miss won the toss and elected to take the football. You have confidence in your offense. I think you do exactly that. Now they are needing points in the worst way with 2:13 left to play here in the first half, before Tech gets it, as you mentioned, out of the locker room to start the second half and can add to a 13-point lead they have already.
You said something interesting earlier today on our production call with our Bristol crew. You said this would be a game of runs. It feels like the Red Raiders have made their run, and now can Jackson Dart and Ole Miss make their run here at the end of the half?
They can. They just have to take care of the football here.
Judkins, the running back, SEC newcomer of the year, and he darts ahead across the 30, a 6-yard pickup on first down.
Williams with a stop. You're going to see Ole Miss go in a hurry now. Get down closer to 2 minutes.
They had one scoring drive that went 75 yards in 1:17 in just 5 plays earlier in the half. Dart's going to keep it. Ball came out late, and let's see. Boy, he hit the turf hard, and it felt like the ball sprung out just after he hit the ground.
I don't have a signal from the officials, and I'm not sure he looks shaken up too, like he's kind of not right after that Hutchings tackle.
No official indication yet.
Rolling on the field is a fumble recovered by the defense. First down.
Thing about it is you can't tell if the ground caused it or if the ball was loose already. It's moving around. It is a fumble. It is Texas Tech's ball.
Defense is under further review.
With a bonus possession here right before the half.
Rabbit made the recovery. That's Taylor Demerson. And that is a hard hit in the air. And you are 100% right. That ball was coming out, and Hutchings was all over Jackson Dart.
And he's holding his arm, and that's the passing arm of Jackson Dart. So it leads for a lot of concern for Ole Miss fans and the coaching staff going forward of if Jackson Dart's going to be available. He took a shot from this big nose guard, Jalen Hutchings, at 6'3", 310.
Well, Andre, if this play stands or is confirmed, this will be the 4th time tonight Texas Tech has started a possession in Ole Miss territory. Their previous 3 occasions, they scored all 3 times.
I think I'm confident this is going to be Texas Tech's football here.
Ball's out, not on the ground. Hard to dispute the call on the field in any way, shape, or form.
After further review, the ruling on the field stands. First down.
Texas Tech closed the regular season on a 3-game winning streak, and they are picking up right where they left off in that comeback against Oklahoma.
You have coached against me all season long. You know exactly what I'm going to do in this situation, don't you?
You
if I have the football.
are taking a shot.
I am taking a shot. There's no doubt about it. Sudden change, turnover, excellent field position. There's no reason Texas Tech shouldn't take a shot here.
Brooks, the running back. Price in motion. Set up the screen to Price. No contact made before the 30. A gain of 9 in the screen game, working awfully well so far for the Red Raiders.
Got plenty of time. 1:30 with 2 timeouts left. That's all day for an offense that's the fastest in college football.
No team in the nation averaged more snaps per game than Texas Tech in 2022. Need a little time here. Brooks has a big first down, a nifty finish inside the 20 and a 10-yard gain.
He gave it to Otis Reese and took it away. Left him standing there. My goodness, what a run.
The pump fake towards the end zone. Pass is incomplete. Diving attempt by Aiken.
Oh, he was wide open. We knew it was coming. You just got to hit it when it presents itself.
2nd and 10.
Oh, my goodness. Right up the seam. Just put some air under that thing, and he's walking into the end zone.
Still a play that 85 in red could have made. 2nd down. Under a minute to go. Plenty of time for this Red Raider offense. On the slant. Pass will be caught inside the 15. A gain of 7. That's Bradley again.
This is where I might take a timeout, because it's 3rd down, an important situation here. You want to make sure you have the right play call and not rushing up to the football. It's exactly what they're going to do. Take the timeout where you're not rushing. Actually, defensive players down.
Xavier Harris on the turf here inside NRG Stadium. And I don't know.
Just kind of hit right then, huh? Wasn't hurting until that moment. And slow Texas Tech down a little bit. Hopefully he's okay and will get himself up and back in the game. I think he'll be okay.
All-State Sugar Bowl coming up Saturday at noon Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific, ESPN Deportes. And also on the app, number 5, Alabama takes on Deuce Vaughn, top 10 Kansas State. First ever meeting between these two. Will Anderson. Bryce Young, 2 of the very best and top prospects available coming up in next April's draft. And Harris requiring a little bit of assistance off the field. Drake, did that ever happen to you guys?
Oh, yeah.
Running the run and shoot back in the day?
Absolutely.
Had to be frustrating.
It was. And you get going and all of a sudden you look and somebody's down. You got to wait.
Still was a moment for Texas Tech to ponder what to call here on 3rd and short.
It's a huge opportunity for Texas Tech to double up with a score here and then getting the ball right out of the half.
Now, Ole Miss, their first of the half. 30-second timeout.
Oh boy. Well, you mentioned double up. It's kind of like the old 2-for-1 in basketball.
Right. Exactly.
You're an AAU coach, so you know what I'm talking about there, where you score here, you get the ball to start the second, and you got back-to-back possessions. You feel great about life at that point.
You feel good about what you're doing offensively and your ability to move the football the way Texas Tech has. You feel pretty good about points right here, whether it's a field goal or a touchdown, and then more points coming out of the locker room.
Let's go back to that perceived injury with Harris.
They could have just taken the timeout.
Well, in the previous play, he did get up gingerly, and it took him a second.
A couple of looks to that sideline.
Maybe. Third down out of the timeout. Pass is caught. That's a touchdown. Jaron Bradley, the freshman, from 12 yards out. 6th touchdown of the season. All kinds of potential at 6'5", 215.
Huge red zone weapon with that type of size and athletic ability. Got inside position on the corner to that side, and then it was just a nice easy throw for Tyler Shaw.
Red Raiders are going to go for 2. Try to extend this lead out to 3 touchdowns. It has been all Texas Tech, and the big story, Ole Miss going for it on 4th down a bunch and coming up empty a bunch.
Timeout, Ole Miss. Their second of the half. 30-second timeout.
They only had 9 defenders on the field. So, you know, rightfully so, the coaching staff able to see it and then get the timeout call.
Let's take a look at Bowl Challenge Cup standings, brought to you by Progressive. Good start for the ACC. Big Ten, just 1 game already in the books, 8 more to come, and a lot will change on these standings as we get closer to New Year's Day.
Spent a lot of time in the American, 3-3 this year with 1 game left. Big 12 struggling a little bit at 0-3. Texas Tech trying to right that ship tonight.
Certainly carrying the flag for the Big 12 at this point. Tough loss for Kansas in triple overtime earlier. Came against Arkansas in the Liberty Bowl. Red Raiders going for 2. Shuck on the screen, and they came up just short. Baylor Cup was grinding away trying to cross the goal line, and Ole Miss met him with plenty of resistance.
He was turned around by the players on the back end.
Trey Washington kind of snuck in there and tried to break up the blocking. A wedge in front of Cup.
I think it was Coleman, Kari Coleman, that teed off on him, a linebacker.
Oh, the 2-point play comes up empty, 26-7. And a brief burst of momentum for Ole Miss. That has been rare in our first 2 quarters. 3 turnovers so far for the Rebels. Red Raiders have cashed in with 13 so far. Now we've seen crazy comebacks this year in our Friday night package. Saw one earlier by Kansas against Arkansas, came up short.
Game
triple overtime.
Arkansas, Kansas. Right before ours. You saw that one go into a couple of overtimes.
And a rolling kick, a live football fielded inside the 5. Rebels will take over at the 10 as Knox corralled it. Well, for a brief moment, we would like to pause and send our condolences, well wishes, thoughts, and prayers to our friend and colleague, Paul Carcaterra, our sideline reporter this year on Friday nights. He's been in that role for multiple years. He lost his father here in the last 2 weeks and was not able to be with us this evening. Carc, we are thinking about you. We love you, and you have been center focus for both Dre and I and this entire crew since we found out the news, buddy.
He keeps us grounded, keeps us laughing, and right now he needs our support, and we certainly sending our condolences to you, big guy. We love you, miss you, and hope to see you here soon.
Tackle by Smith against Judkins. And as time winds down, and a first half ends up being dominated by Texas Tech. Rebels had a good first 15, and a different story as Joey McGuire's team has dug in. (26-7) our score at the break. Time for the halftime report. Say hello to Matt Barry, Greg McElroy, Joey Galloway. Gentlemen, good evening.
Welcome back to Capital One Bowl Mania.
And welcome back to the TaxAct Texas Bowl as part of Capital One Bowl Mania. H-Town Rocket and a team from the Lone Star State off and running with a 26-7 advantage. The start of our second half. Texas Tech leading Ole Miss. Andre Ware, Roy Philpott, Ian Fitzsimmons. All right, Texas Tech wants to be here. Let's see if Ole Miss really wants to be here in the second half, buddy.
Yeah, I mean, that's usually guys or teams that win, they want to be in the game, and it looks as though Texas Tech, they're very much engaged by the way they played in the first half. But a lot of mistakes for Ole Miss in the first half. A couple of fourth down conversions that went wrong. A fourth down here that turned into an interception, kind of like a punt in that situation. And just bad play, leaving it there. Turns another turnover for Ole Miss, and then this was going to cap it with a fumble that led to more Texas Tech points.
Red Raiders have benefited greatly as we take a look at our first half stats. Brought to you by Dollar General. And really the second quarter creating the difference, the total yardage, and the number of plays already 50. Half a hundy on the board, a 50 burger for the Red Raiders.
And they get a head start to start the second half. They're going to get it to build on that number, but on pace to run 100 plays in tonight's game.
Ole Miss kick it off to start the second half in Houston. NRG Stadium, good crowd, great atmosphere. Red Raiders have been impressive. They've won 3 in a row before tonight. The comeback win against Oklahoma, the season finale. And we check in once again with Ian Fitzsimmons.
Roy, talked to Texas Tech head coach Joey McGuire going into halftime. He said the first half for both teams defined by turnovers. His message to his team at halftime was going to be, we've been in a lot of close games against quality opponents. We haven't been up big against a quality opponent going into halftime like this. We have to finish. How do we handle success? I also asked him about being aggressive going forward on fourth down. He said, will I continue? One word. Absolutely, Andre.
And no doubt. And Zach Kittley, the offensive coordinator, he can't allow himself to take this lead and kind of manage it. Go ahead and keep your foot on the gas until you get yourself into about the middle of the fourth quarter.
Yeah, not in his DNA. Former play caller at Western Kentucky. Bailey Zappi, of course, we've seen what he's done in the NFL and a couple of brief outings in the National Football League. You go back to his days at Houston Baptist with Zappi, and now at his alma mater. He has 2 degrees from Texas Tech. He grew up in Lubbock, loves the community, and is really off to a great start as a play caller. And right out of the gate, a 13-yard gain. Bradley, another catch and a first down.
He's kind of the handler for Patrick Mahomes when he was really young in his first stint at Texas Tech.
Patrick Mahomes was actively tweeting in support. Zach Kittley come back to Texas Tech. That pass sails out of bounds. Bradley, the intended receiver. And I mean, he was kind of a mentor for Pat Mahomes before he has reached NFL stardom, a world champion and MVP. And back in the day, he was a GA, and the two bonded back then.
I had to ask him, how did you not coach all the crazy arm angles out of Patrick Mahomes? So a lot of coaches would have. But no, you just allow him to be himself, and you got to benefit from allowing a player to do things like that. That's part of the everyday game of Patrick Mahomes.
Tennyson with a TFL against Thompson, and it's going to be 3rd down and long. Rebels desperately need a stop here.
Go a long way in terms of getting them back in this game.
Joey McGuire told us this week, I'm a high school coach that coaches college football. Had over 200 high school coaches from Texas at practice this week in Houston. A lot of pride in how he came up.
And loves ex-players.
Yes, he does.
Guys that have played at Texas Tech, loves having them around.
3rd down, big play. Shuckle by some time. Hit as he threw it. The ball comes out awkwardly. Lineman picks it up, and let's see what the ruling is. Robinson applied the pressure and swatted the ball down as the arm was moving.
The offense in advance. 4th down.
Well, he had a gain on the play, so we've seen so many crazy things on 4th down, and it wouldn't be out of the norm for Texas Tech to go for it here.
6-yard gain, 4th and 7, punt team on the field. And it's the first time we've seen Austin McNamara this evening. Punter for the Red Raiders. Jordan Watkins back deep for Ole Miss. Rebs get a stop right out of the gate to begin our second half. Fair catch called for, made by Watkins. As we check in again with Fitzy.
Roy, Ole Miss head coach Lane Kiffin said going into halftime, when we was asked assess the first half, he said, well, we're awful on the ground game. Poor quarterback play leads to what you saw in the first half. When asked if he was going to be as aggressive on fourth down, he said, yes, there was a game plan coming in. We knew we had to score a ton of points. We will be just as aggressive in the second half.
Take a look at the first half possessions, their last 5 drives, and not something that Coach Kiffin's going to want to show the team entering the offseason.
You see a lot of own on there, and going for it on fourth downs and your own into the field like that, that's tough.
Judkins trying to break loose. Longest run of the night ahead to the 39 and an 18-yard gain on first down.
That's what they need to get him started along with Zach Evans, who got himself into the end zone. Jeremy James with an excellent block to free up Judkins there.
Leading rusher in the SEC off the toss. A loss of 1 yard. A stop by Buddy Waters, who leads the country in TFLs for defensive backs this season.
And that star position, kind of a hybrid safety slash linebacker. He has played an outstanding game to this point.
Second down and 11. Time for Dart. Heaves one deep. Has a man wide open is Watkins. That's a first down into plus territory. Sent out hard to the 32. A gain of 30 on that pass play.
You got one deep and an over route coming from Watkins. His job of making a guy miss. The timing from Jackson Dart is ideal for a big gain.
Judkins another touch off the right side. Inside the 30, a gain of 3. The tackle by Bradford. Bradford, a Houston native, was a high school teammate of Zach Evans for Ole Miss. Talked this week about his emotional return, and he's been a mentor to some of the younger defensive linemen for the Red Raiders.
We let everybody know at that luncheon yesterday that North Shore comes through this building on the regular.
Zach Evans really didn't want to talk to him before the game. He said, we'll talk afterwards. He wants to crush me when he hits me. He knew it. Dart pulls it out. A little bit of real estate. Shifty cut and a 9-yard gain. That's a first down.
A score here would put Ole Miss right back in it. Plenty of time left in this ball game.
We talked about this game potentially being a game of runs. Judkins, jump cut, gain of 6. Merriweather, the tackle.
I think you get that when you have two offenses that are as exciting and as fast-paced as these two teams have in Ole Miss and Tech. It's going to be played like a basketball game where there are runs where Tech will dominate at times, and then Ole Miss not having their way right now.
Tech dominated the second quarter. Judkins racing ahead towards the 10 and stopped just short of the first down according to the initial marking.
Merriweather with a nice tackle, one-on-one against Judkins. A lot of guys are going to be one-on-one in the hole and win against number 4.
They give him the first down. It'll be first and goal just inside the 10. And you wonder if Judkins is going to keep getting carries. He'll keep feeding the freshman who has just been incredible this year. One of the top freshman ground gainers in SEC history, right there with Herschel Walker, right there with Nick Chubb. Fade pattern to the front pylon. It's incomplete. Malik Heath, the intended receiver, Fry in coverage.
They would go to Heath or Mingo. 6'3" in Heath and 6'2" in Mingo, and both have been productive all season long. So they'll move Mingo around. He's in the slot to the right side and maybe trying to work the middle of the field with Jonathan Mingo.
Well, judging by what Lane Kiffin told Ian Fitzsimmons, you have to think that this is already 4-down territory. Judkins gets the snap, and he is brought down behind the line again. That was Isaac Smith.
That ball came out, and luckily, I think it's the tight end, Trigg, who came up with a recovery.
10 play in the drive. 3rd down and goal, this time from the 11.
Kind of feel like this is 4-down territory, right? It has been all game long for Ole Miss, no matter where they were on the field.
Zach Evans, the running back. 3rd and goal, pocket collapses. Pass is caught for the touchdown. Jordan Watkins. How big was There's that for Ole Miss.
How big was that throw by Jackson Dart? He was getting pressure. It was an all-out blitz. Put it up for his receiver to go make a play. They empty the kitchen sink and bring it. And he's able to get Watkins in the back of the end zone. You got to stand in there and be willing to take a shot as a quarterback every once in a while. You know you're going to get hit, but you got to stand there in order to deliver it. Well, that was accurate and timed perfectly.
Second touchdown grab of the season for the Louisville transfer. Rebels will go for 2. And here come a multitude of markers. Let's hear from Stuart Mullins.
Full start. Number 8, offense. 5-yard penalty. We will play the try.
Well, and that'll change the mind of Lane Kiffin, who will go ahead and kick the extra point here.
Well, a 2-point conversion there, then another 2-point play and a field goal could conceivably tie it up later. The 5-yard infraction side on the PAT. A lot of time left. You don't want to be chasing points. And here's Jonathan Cruz. Started his career at Charlotte. Rock solid this season. 15 of 17 in the field goal department. He's been perfect. 47 tries on the PATs until now. 26-13. It's been that kind of night, but the Rebels are back in it. 9:08 to go in the third.
The TaxAct Texas Bowl is brought to you by Dollar General. Save time, save money every day.
Really one of the great scenes of a lot of bowl games, giving back to the communities. And we see that in college football's postseason. Jackson Dart just gave us a touchdown on a beautifully thrown pass to Jordan Watkins near the back corner. Ole Miss is back in it, Andre. That defense needs to find a way to get the offensive football back, though.
Yeah, they had a heck of a start to the second half and forcing Texas Tech to punt for the first time. We can find more luck like that or step up defensively. We know what the offense is capable of doing.
Thought it could be a game of runs. Red Raiders made theirs in the second quarter. Ole Miss would like to do exactly that in their own right here in the third. Cruz will kick it off. And Brown from the 4. Stays on his feet, twisting down towards the 22. Now coming up tomorrow, 3 more games headed your way on ESPN, also on the app. Syracuse, Minnesota, Bad Boy Mowers, Pinstripe Bowl, that's from Yankee Stadium. Cheez-It Bowl, OU, Brent Venables taking on Jordan Travis, 13th ranked Florida State at 5:30. Texas and Washington. In a game that's got a ton of cachet. The Alamo Bowl, we know Michael Penix Jr. very well, and he leads the free world in passing yards.
My favorite players in college football right there. Glad to see that he made the decision to come back one more year at UW, and he will light it up next season.
Great job done by Kalen DeBoer in year 1. A 10-win Husky team. Shot, flips it ahead while going down. Ball was still believed to be live. And the Red Raiders jump on it. Now Pegues came the load of steam. It's a loss of 6.
Left hand flipping it forward.
Nearly a disastrous play for Texas Tech.
Of a fumble is under further review.
I think this is an incomplete pass.
Notes.
Trying to avoid the balls being thrown forward.
Threw that with his left hand.
Doesn't matter how it looks. It's forward, and I thought it was a pass.
Wasn't pretty, but it did move forward, and the arm was moving forward as he was being tackled.
Totally agree with you, partner.
Did he have complete control of the ball in his hand?
I think so.
Now, switching hands certainly interesting and not advised for quarterbacks. What could be a sack and a game-changing play. Shuck found a way to avoid total disaster.
Avoided the sack, and I think it's a pass.
Doesn't have to be.
I don't know if that's the offensive side of me coming out. Or
it is.
What? But or the quarterback side of me.
It's already
having done something like that before.
You take the side of offensive linemen all the time on the air, and
they don't get enough love. And old linemen never get enough love. They do the dirty work, and nobody ever says anything about them.
After further review,
ruling here.
The quarterback had possession of the ball when his hand began coming forward. It's an incomplete pass. It will be 2nd down and 10 at the 23-yard line. The clock is correct, and we'll start on the snap.
Agree totally with that call.
You've been in postseason form tonight, and we are in the postseason. So that's good news for everybody. I was going to say you got emotional earlier talking about tight ends, so of course you take the offensive side.
No, every once in a while I'll venture to the dark side.
Andre Ware, Roy Philpott, Ian Fitzsimmons here with you tonight. Ole Miss trying to mount a comeback for trailing 26-7 at halftime. 2nd and 10. No fumble, no recovery, an incomplete pass. And Brooks is going to try to bounce it outside. He does. Close to a first down, and how about that finish?
What a block by Tyler Shuck. I mean, they're going to go fast here, but the block by Shuck, we got to come back and revisit.
4.5 seconds later, another quick snap, and Brooks tap dancing across the line.
This reminds me, that block reminded me of a high school. We run wing right 21 pitch. You got to pitch it and then go lead block with the fullback. Get a block. You should have had a look at my shoulder pads in high school. Sure, I can hit somebody and not get hurt.
Andre Ware, the blocker. That's another first down. Ripping away Fungi into plus territory. Now the missed tackle was critical, and it was Battle that came up empty, and that's a gain of 16. Ian.
Yes, sir. I threw a few blocks every once in a while. Every once in a while, I'd get a block in there.
First down toss, Miles Price behind the line, racing ahead, breaks free. Price with a cut. Inside the 30, a gain of 20 yards.
What patience by Price. Just let the block set themselves up. Finley with a missed tackle. And then it turns into a big gain for Miles Price.
Well, we're going to have to put the snap clock back up in the upper left-hand corner of the screen. Red Raiders moving lightning quick. Well, the ball nearly popped out, and it did at the end, and let's see if he was down. The initial indication is a turnover, and Ole Miss has it.
Big fella has been playing some pretty good football. KD Hill all night long.
First down.
Not sure the back. In this instance, Brooks was not down. I think it's an incomplete pass, to be quite honest. It's certainly not an interception. So it would be a fumble or an incompleted pass. After replay gets through taking a look at this, and certainly with every play being reviewed, especially turnovers, I'm not sure he had ever possessed this ball. It's still bouncing around, contacted, ball goes on the ground. I think it's an incomplete pass.
I see nothing to dispute your claim, and we would expect this call to be overturned by our replay official, Michael Webster.
It was never possessed. It's bouncing around, hanging on the pads, never tucked away. Ball hits the ground. Incomplete.
I mean, KD Hill at 300 pounds is flying around like it's nothing. He's actually 310.
He's playing some pretty good football. Along with number 89 that's lined up right next to him as well.
Yeah, Pegues has crashed the pocket.
Yes, indeed.
ACC crew tonight here. Big 12 versus SEC. Red Raiders ran 50 snaps in the first half. Trying to win their 4th game in a row. Here's the call.
Gotcha. The play has been reviewed, and it's been determined that the ball hit the ground. The pass is incomplete. 2nd down.
Two occasions where Texas Tech has had a little bit of luck go their way. and has allowed drives to continue on, especially after that last play.
College football playoff, the semifinals coming up this weekend.
I still want to go back and take a look at that block that Shuck threw. It was beautiful.
Hear the quarterback love in your voice, in your tone. Heave to the end zone and incomplete. Good coverage. Fungi was the intended receiver. Igby Nosen, who has been active tonight and looked pretty good deep down the field, preventing any kind of potential touchdown grab. 3rd down and 10. Brooks in the backfield, and Shuck will look towards the sideline at his OC, Zach Kittley.
It's a straight man-to-man with a safety in the hole.
How about a running play? And Brooks with a stiff arm will pick up 5, and that's it. The stop by Young.
Well, you don't run a play like that. I was thinking they wanted to get half of it and then maybe roll the dice on 4th down, but with Ole Miss kind of getting themselves back into this game after the touchdown, McGuire is going to go ahead and take the field goal here, or attempt to take it.
Trey Wolf from Spring, Texas, 2 for 2 tonight. 20 of 23 this season, and this attempt from 41.
Former walk-on who was awarded a scholarship in 2019 on Christmas Day.
Just inside the right hash, and Wolf. No good. And then Lane Kiffin with the call as well. Miss extra point, a mixed field goal. Rebels get it back with new life. Let's take a look at today's performance update prepared by TaxAct. Ole Miss, one of the top rushing teams in America, leading the SEC in that department. Only a $103 tonight. Andre, do you think that trend will continue?
Oh boy, that's a tough question. I think Texas Tech has done a heck of a job, at least in the first half, of getting penetration, reestablishing the offensive line. It really hadn't been that way since we started the second half. Ole Miss, you kind of feel like they're in a position to really break out with this running game after their first possession here in the second half.
Lane Kiffin has been aggressive after the missed field goal wide right from Trey Wolf. Rebels take over just outside their own 20. Zach Evans was pinned down awkwardly. Was there a face mask? No penalty marker yet. It was Miles Cole that dragged him down and a loss of 5.
He's asking for one. Evans is asking for one, but oh yeah, no doubt about it. Should have been one. Officials are right there, and they missed out.
How was that call missed?
Today's world of football, how you missed that one.
Mounts to a TFL, and Evans corralled in the backfield again by Rodriguez. A loss of 3 more.
They are rallying to the football. They're playing run and short passes on 1st and 2nd down, and it's because Ole Miss really hadn't pushed the ball down the field on the early downs. So Tim DeRuyter, the defensive coordinator, has been spot on in his approach defensively on how to slow down Ole Miss.
3rd and 18. He'll fake the screen to Watkins, start under pressure, incomplete, and that play had no chance.
It's almost as though Texas Tech, Roy, is in the huddle with Ole Miss, knowing exactly what's being called in certain situations. They get the pass rush they need. They also get the coverage on the screenplay on the back end.
Pierre with the pressure. Eldridge covering Zach Evans. Ole Miss gets it back after the missed field goal. Jackson Dart and company go backwards.
Have some pretty good field position because, as you mentioned, they went backwards, so they're going to have it with any type of return right around the 50-yard line or better.
Rebels will punt for the first time tonight. Price was decked, and here comes a penalty marker. 43-yard punt, -2 on the return, and Tennyson unloaded.
Oh yeah, that's being whistled, and it's a defensive player.
Personal foul, targeting, number 13, kicking team. That play is under further review.
That is why the rule is in place. We already saw Troy Brown exit this game. They're playmakers and leaders, and then Tennyson more than likely going to be with him.
During the break, the targeting call was confirmed. Tennyson to launch, crown of the helmet, checks the boxes, and he is out for the rest of this game and also the first half of his first game next season. The second Ole Miss defender to be disqualified tonight. It's Tennyson and also Troy Brown off the field for the Rebels defensively.
Troy Brown, a senior, but Tennyson just a sophomore. So will carry over into the next season.
When you think about the turn of events, the missed field goal, 3 and out. Now the penalty after a decent punt, the first of the night for Ole Miss. And Texas Tech will start this drive once again in plus territory. Shuck will keep it, trying to get to the edge, shoved out, and he's going to lose 2. Trey Washington active tonight. It's second and long.
Told us he's been really good during bowl practices, Trey Washington, and to start today's game because of how he's played during the bowl practice period.
Isheem Young checks in to replace Tennyson after the targeting call. Shuck is tripped up, and that'll be behind the line, a loss of 2 more.
Just could not come out of there and keep his balance. Pocket closing down, and this being able to, they are able to get to Tyler Shuck with just a 4-man rush, collapsing the pocket. When he comes out of that, there's a lot of green turf in front of him, but able to do so.
Yeah, he tripped up over his center, Dennis Wilbur. 3rd down and very long. Shuck's going to buy some time. Backside pressure, the ball's out. Who has it? About 3 different scrums. It was Robinson that forced the fumble. Ole Miss football near midfield. Jared Ivey with the fumble recovery, the transfer from Georgia Tech.
And Robinson gets it out, and it's just Shuck holding it a little bit too long. When you start to feel the pressure, that ball's got to be gone. You cannot set your feet when you feel a defensive lineman coming from inside out on you. You got to throw that one on the move, but it needs to come out of your hand. That way you save the possession and you punt the football on 4th down.
Wait,
how about Ole Miss with the sack, the pressure, and now the football?
Tavius Robinson was just sneaking in from behind. Shuck did not sense that he was coming in, and he made him pay. 26-13, new life for Lane Kiffin again. Ultra aggressive the first 2 quarters, and he's hanging in.
I'm not sure. I don't know how he doesn't feel him, because he's the defender that forced him to move out to his left. So you got to know he's in your vicinity. You can't plant your feet to make a throw. You got to throw that one on the move just to get it out of there. Throw it out, throw it to the sideline, and come back on 4th down, punt the ball away, play defense.
Injured Rebel near the 50. It is J.J. Pegues.
Pegues has had a monster game. That's a throwaway, and live to fight another down.
Ole Miss has it at their own 49-yard line. It'll be their best starting field position of this football game.
We'll see some tempo now, partner. With the ball right around midfield.
Now, you and I looked at each other towards the end of the second quarter, and we just kind of questioned off air, okay, does this team want to really be here?
Yeah.
They've proven so far in the second. Here in the second half, the answer is yes. Trying to come back with a vengeance. Dart's going to keep it. Racing for a first down into plus territory. 14 more on the docket for Jackson Dart.
That's not a small young man turning it up the field there. Dart is every bit of 220 and maybe some more.
And you wonder if Judkins is going to start to break loose. He'll fake it to him this time and now throw it to him. He's wide open in the flats. Nice move inside the 30, a gain of 8. The tackle by Bradford. Now, Judkins does have good hands, especially for a freshman. That part of his game we've seen on display multiple times this year. His 14th catch of the season. Hand it to him on second and short. No gain on the play. Stopped at the line by Merriweather. It's third down.
It surprises you just how well Texas Tech is standing in and defending, holding the point of attack at the line of scrimmage.
And without Tyree Wilson, arguably a middle of the first round draft pick, injured late in this season, not playing tonight. One of the top defenders in the Big 12 this season. Rebels 2 for 8 on third down. Dart's going to keep it and needs to get inside the 28.
He's just shy of it.
Eldridge with the tackle. Let's see.
Just shy of the line to gain. So another fourth down coming for Ole Miss. And without hesitation, you know Lane Kiffin is going for it here. Texas Tech can rise to the occasion, and let's see if Ole Miss can convert and keep playing here.
Shotgun snap to Dart, handoff. Judkins didn't need much, and I don't know. Hutchings met him in the hole.
No push whatsoever. Yeah, I don't think so. Actually, they got him turned around.
Best angle here. He's met clearly behind the line of scrimmage. He tried to push him forward, and it doesn't appear like he got much.
I don't think so.
First down, Red Raiders.
And it's official now. Short.
Ole Miss tonight is 1 for 6 on fourth down. Don't forget about our upcoming featured ESPN football lineup. Michigan takes on TCU. Georgia against Ohio State. It's in the college football semifinals on Saturday. Penn State and Utah, the granddaddy of them all, Monday. The Rose Bowl returns. That wasn't enough. Monday Night Football. Josh Allen, the Bills, Joey Burrow, and the Bengals. 8:15, ABC, ESPN, ESPN2.
If your football appetite wasn't finished by Sunday night,
oh boy,
Monday night we got the Bills and Bengals for you. Amazing.
I don't know if there's anybody playing better ball right now than Joe Burrow in Cincinnati, at least in the last month.
False start here.
False start. Number 70. Offense. 5-yard penalty. First down.
First penalty of the game against Texas Tech. Still a 2-score affair. Less than 2 to go in the third. Shuck flips it, pass, caught. And how about that grab? Fungi in traffic, a gain of 16.
Fungi almost kept his balance and turned that into a track meet, a foot race.
Boy, 6'4", 210-pound junior. Big time potential. Shuck escaping. Then hit hard at the line. No gain.
This pass rush for Ole Miss starting to get home. Starting to harass Tyler Shuck a little bit. Robinson again turning the corner and forcing him up and into the pocket.
Number of seconds between snaps. Top left-hand corner of your screen. Texas Tech will dial down the tempo here. 2nd and 10 from their own 40. Quick pitch ball came out. Recovered by the Red Raiders. Pass is ruled a completion, a gain of 6 initially, and now it's ruled incomplete.
They have dodged some situations in this game where it would give Ole Miss the football. Moving ever so dangerously right now are the Red Raiders.
White, the intended receiver. Igby in coverage, 3rd down and 10.
This is where you're telling your receivers, hey, make sure you get to the down or the yardage necessary to gain. So when you're tackled, we already have the 1st down.
Red Raiders 1 for their last 8 on 3rd down tonight. Heavy pressure again. Shuck escapes. He'll try to run for the 1st down, and he almost gets there. Let's see.
He's going to be right on top of it at the 50, and I mean right there.
How did Shuck keep his balance, and it's enough for a 1st down.
Sure, if those knees came down, I would want to snap it quickly if I'm Joey McGuire, the head coach of Tech.
Really on the field, if the runner reached the line to gain is under further review.
Ivy was the one that tripped him up.
And I think Ivy tripped him up where his knees hit before the 1st down marker.
Maybe a half yard shy was my initial thought.
Exactly right. You see the knees touch before he gets to the 50-yard line. I don't know, he's diving. Is there daylight under there, under his knees? It's tough to see.
I mean, to me, it looks like his knees are down there, but is that indisputable video evidence?
You hear me say this all the time. When you slow-mo something and stop it, it just has a look. I don't know if he's down there or if there's air, light under it. It looks like he's lunging, so he could be close to touching down. I think the ruling on the field is going to stand, and it's going to be a Texas Tech 1st down.
In your mind, not enough to overturn the call?
Exactly right.
He defied the laws of physics at some point if those knees never touched.
Right. I didn't see anything from the turf kick up to indicate that the knee slid. So therefore, I'm thinking that he did not touch, and it's going to be a 1st down. A heck of an effort, I'll tell you that, by Tyler Shuck.
Again, I'm going to say, if his knee didn't hit the turf, there was some kind of anti-gravity potion involved.
You look at it in real time.
After further review, the runner's knee was down with the ball at the 49-yard line. It'll be 4th down and 1. The clock is correct, and we'll start on my signal.
I think if you're saying that his knee was down, that you are absolutely guessing. There's no video evidence to say that he was definitely down right there.
4th and 1. Red Raiders going for it again. 3 of 4 on 4th down tonight. And they will have to snap it before the start of the 4th quarter. Shuck will keep it, and Shuck has the 1st down. 2-yard gain, 4th and 1. Drive continues.
I put my coach's hat on, my AAU coach's hat. You know what I tell an official in that instance? Ball don't lie. Ball don't lie.
What will be the final play of our 3rd quarter in Houston. Final bowl game of the night. 4 fingers in the air for Joey McGuire. And his team with a 13-point lead with 15 minutes to go. Back at the TaxAct Texas Bowl after this.
You're watching Capital One Bowl Mania.
Welcome back to the TaxAct Texas Bowl as part of Capital One Bowl Mania. H-Town holiday season, Big 12 SEC, and a good game with 15 minutes to go inside NRG Stadium, 26-13. Big 12 in search of its first bowl victory of this postseason. Tough loss for Kansas in triple overtime in Memphis earlier. First play on 1st down, a 1-yard gain. Sir Roderick Thompson, his last game as a Red Raider. It'll be 2nd and long, the tackle by Systrom.
Tell you what, you start to analyze your team, and if you're Billy McGuire, you got to feel pretty good about just the trenches in this game, an SEC opponent, and you're holding your own.
Pass was batted down. The pocket collapsed quickly. Malone
going on field's an incomplete forward pass. Third down.
just swatted that one down right near the line of scrimmage.
That pass rush of Ole Miss, we talked about it, starting to create some havoc for this Texas Tech offensive line and for Tyler Shuck.
Could we see another punt here in this half? That would be stunning.
Across midfield. But if you like, if they get about half of it here, they'll roll the dice on 4th down.
Thompson on the field at running back. 3rd down and 9. And here comes a flag. And the Red Raiders were
full
moving.
Start. Number 9, offense. 5-yard penalty. 3rd down.
It's your redshirt freshman receiver, Trey. You can't have that, Jaron Bradley.
Well, now you're in a situation where you're going to run a draw play or a screen and not hold the ball and allow this pass rush to get to Tyler Shuck. So look for a screen pass here.
All 26 points scored by Tech coming in the first half. 3rd and 14 after the penalty. Shuck steps up. Crosser is there. Fungi makes a man miss. Will be stopped about 3 yards short, a gain of 11.
And it makes it an interesting situation for Texas Tech. Gonna go for it here.
Using tempo. And I mean, this is going to be a fast snap if they go, and they won't. 4-5 on 4th down so far. Shuck, right side. 1st down.
Excellent read by Shuck. Johnson takes the pitch man. Shuck sees him go by his face. And so that's the indicator to keep the football if you're the quarterback. You're just reading the in man on the line of scrimmage. Once he disappears in front of your face to take the pitch, it's all you at that point. And that's a lonely place sometimes for a quarterback.
Now Coleman made the tackle. Ivy, the injured Rebel, still down on the turf. You saw Zach Kitley there. He has utilized his quarterback to perfection tonight. Shuck did have the interception early in the first quarter. We asked him about his offensive philosophy and how we should frame that. And he said this is a quarterback-driven offense.
Yeah.
Tyler Shuck has total control of every play that you're going to see tonight. And that includes the checks up front, changing the plays, audibilizing, doing whatever you need to do.
Yeah, protections and all of that. And I thought it was interesting that he actually told us that, because you heard me say it. I believe you're playing the game with one hand tied behind your back. If your quarterback doesn't have the flexibility to check you in and out of plays, and he knows the offense that well, and you don't have the confidence to allow him to do that, then you're only playing with about 50% capability of what you can do offensively. Nobody sees the field and feels the game like the quarterback does.
Ivy helped off the field. 1st down and 10 for Texas Tech. He's already run 75 plays tonight. This will be the 10th play of this drive. And the Red Raiders content. Utilize a little time. Fake the sweep to Price. Breaking open in the red zone. Inside the 1 is Bradley. It'll be 1st down and goal, and a gain of 36.
Oh, the timing of Tyler Shuck to his big receiver Bradley was just about perfect.
Red Raiders moving quickly, and that's a touchdown. Thompson.
How about the post route to Bradley? This sets it up perfectly. Nice flat break, and the ball is in the air before the safety can get back. Finley to make a play on it, and then they turn right around and go to Thompson, who essentially walks into the end zone untouched.
Red Raiders will go for 2, 32-13. On the jet sweep. White trying to get to the edge, lassoed out of bounds.
Johnson not going to let it turn the corner.
And 32-13, our score with 13:20 to go. Here the TaxAct Texas Bowl on a Wednesday night.
The TaxAct Texas Bowl is brought to you by TaxAct. File for less and get more.
Well, look at the previous winners of the TaxAct Texas Bowl. Last year, Kansas State over LSU. And tell you, the hospitality extended this week by everyone associated with this bowl game. The city of Houston, Andre, I know it means a little bit more for you as a resident, having grown up here in Houston, going to U of H. And it's been spectacular this week. It really has.
It really has, and I've seen the bowl game grow. David Fletcher, who runs the Texas Bowl here, he has done a magnificent job of growing this game each and every year.
Fair catch called for as we take a look at today's clutch delivery, brought to you by Chipotle. And the Texas Tech defense, again without the services, one of the best defenders in the Big 12 this season, and Tyree Wilson. They've been extremely impressive at the line of scrimmage, especially on fourth down.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I mean, they have hung in there. They've reestablished the line of scrimmage at times. They flat out owned it at others. And when it's most important on fourth down, they have come up time and time again and answered the bell defensively.
Worth repeating, Ole Miss tonight on fourth down, 1 for 6. And they have been aggressive. Lane Kiffin telling our Ian Fitzsimmons in the first half that he would continue to push the envelope in that department. Joe McGuire said the same thing. So far it's been all Texas Tech. Dart's going to sling one. Mingo has it in plus territory. Spun out of bounds, a gain of 33.
He is a special player, isn't he?
He's one of those guys you want first off the bus. The physique is there, the experience. It feels like he's been in Oxford forever.
Kind of has that A.J. Brown feel to him, doesn't he?
I think so.
Yeah.
That's valid. Ball spotted at the 41. Mingo wanted to come back and play in this bowl game. He's off to the NFL, going to the Senior Bowl after this. More time for Dart. Pocket collapsed quickly. Evans, nice move out of bounds.
Dart took a shot, another shot.
Pressure by Bradford, the Houston native, after a gain of 8.
He called his name a few times in this one. Ole Miss needing to score right here. If they're going to get back in this and make it a game down the stretch, they need points right now.
Well, confusion on that play. Evans and Dart collided in the backfield. Still results in a first down.
No harm, no foul. Nice job by Dart to recognize, hey, the ball's supposed to be handed right here and run here. Just squeeze through here and pick up the first down.
See that right sleeve on his arm, the red sleeve that came on after halftime, was crunched at the end of the second quarter. Fake to Evans, and finally the flip pass is incomplete.
It's thrown a little bit too hard for Evans to handle. But eight passes on the year coming in. That one just a little bit too hard to handle. You want to throw something on a swing pass like that just where the back can handle it, and then get his eyes on the next defender coming from inside out. If it's coming 100 miles an hour, no way can he handle it.
Second down. Wide open. That's another first down. Dayton Wade, ball comes out. And Texas Tech has it. Isaac Smith comes up with a recovery. And a late penalty marker comes in as well. And some extracurricular activity going down. Dre, did he have full possession of that?
I think he caught it, and Isaac Smith did one heck of a job of ripping the ball out to cause the turnover.
Now 2 penalty flags coming in late, and some pushing and shoving after Smith hit the turf.
This might be on big Micah Pettis with the extra stuff. He certainly has it. And Smith comes in, gets it out. Not only does he get it out, he recovers the fumble.
And Tyler Owens swooping in for the Red Raiders from that free safety position. And Andre, tell me if I'm wrong here, but it feels like this play a microcosm of this game where Texas Tech has been the aggressor. It has been the more physical team, and the defense has made a boatload of plays.
Well, my high school coach used to always tell me it doesn't take talent to hustle.
Running on the field, it's a fumble recovered by the defense. After the play was over, unsportsmanlike conduct, number 11, Ole Miss, his first of the game. Also after the play, unsportsmanlike conduct, number 71, Ole Miss, his first of the game. Both 15-yard penalties will be enforced.
Oh, wow.
First down.
Jaden Williams, Jordan Watkins, and that one really hurts.
It doesn't take talent to hustle when you hustle. And so you're going to hustle your way into plays. It just seems as though Tech, right now, it's happening more so for them. 30 yards in penalties on one play, and then set up in nice field position with a lead right now.
The Rebels have now turned it over 4 times, 1 for 6 on 4th down. Red Raiders have turned it over just twice. Score indicative of those numbers. And with 12:03 to go, Texas Tech's on the verge of blowing out an Ole Miss team that was ranked as high as 7th in the country this year, Andre. 7-0 start and had aspirations of winning the SEC West, going to the playoff.
Right now they're playing like a team that finished the year with 3 consecutive losses, with a lot of mistakes, a lot of situations where I feel like they should have taken points, especially early in this game.
Shuck, play action. And the pass caught by Brady Boyd. And for Boyd, just his 13th grab of the season. A 9-yard gain for number 13 in red. 32-13 our score. It's 26-7 at halftime. Ole Miss came back, had opportunities in the 3rd. Could not convert. Texas Tech territory. That's a dart to Boyd and incomplete.
That's an understatement. That thing had flames coming off the back of it.
And Lane Kiffin going to call a timeout. Oh, he raced to the 50-yard line to do that, and he's going to give this veteran officiating crew an earful.
Not sure what he's complaining about right now.
Yeah, Roy, Andre, Lane Kiffin called for our head referee to come over to the Ole Miss sideline. I'm watching him right now across the field. Look, I've had my wife yell at me at times, man, and it looks like right now that referee is me and Lane Kiffin is my wife. I mean, it is getting nasty right now on the Ole Miss sideline. I don't know what Lane Kiffin is upset about, but he is angrier than a disturbed hornet right now, guys.
Yeah, you can sense that all the way up here in our broadcast position, and he's not letting up.
No, he's not, and he handed his play calling sheet to someone else so that he could make sure that he could get extra animated with the officials.
Well, I mean, clearly he has to be frustrated with how the season ended, and now in this bowl game, things haven't gone his way or the way of Ole Miss tonight.
The only thing I can think of is that he's thinking that was an incompleted pass that Isaac Smith came up with on the fumble recovery, but I thought it was clearly a catch and a fumble.
3rd down and 1. Guess who? Tyler Shuck off and running. Racing into the red zone. Brought down to the 12, a gain of 36. The stop by Finley, and he prevented the touchdown.
Not sure if this is Tyler Shuck's last game as a Red Raider or not before he moves on to the NFL, but he is certainly going out with a bang, if it indeed is.
Over 100 yards rushing tonight, 242 through the air. The only mistake, that trick play intended for the backup quarterback Baron Morton in the end zone. Pass was intercepted early tonight. Outside of that, Shuck has been outstanding. What a statement potentially for Texas Tech. And Brooks inside the 10, a 5-yard gain. We mentioned the 6-year contract extension for Joey McGuire. It was announced about 3 hours before kickoff. The $200 million football facility upgrade in Lubbock.
That helps in recruiting in terms of upgrading the facilities. You know, your coach is going to be around for a long time, and then you go out and do this in a bowl game. You think that doesn't help the foundation of every program, which is recruiting?
No question. Katie Hill, the injured Rebel. Give you an update on his status when we come back. $10:29 remaining back in Houston. TaxAct Texas Bowl. The score tells the story. Andre Ware, Roy Philpott, and Ian Fitzsimmons on the sidelines tonight. Don't forget, SportsCenter coming up. SVP, we ask you to be patient with us this evening. We're going to get it to you as soon as we can. Everybody's still buzzing about what happened with Luka Doncic yesterday, but big bowl moments today. Nets going for 10 in a row, and we've got picks coming up with the NFL as well. I just
biggest Mavericks fan. I will go out on a limb and say it right here.
I just set the table, chair. And I knew you would just start eating.
I would eat it.
I knew you were going
exactly
for it.
what I would do. Go Mavs.
Oh boy. Out of the timeout. Shuck's going to keep it again. Boy, he's been crafty on the ground tonight. A 1-yard pickup here. It'll be 3rd down. Ivy and Sistrunk combined to make the tackle.
Well, what it does is it keeps the clock running. You don't want to throw an incompletion and then have the clock stop and give that time to Ole Miss, or lead time for them to score. You want the clock running from here on out as you continue to do business.
Well, there's one thing that stood out from our conversations this week. You know, Shuck began the year as the starter, was injured. Zach Kittley told us he was still the first player in the building while he was injured. I mean, he never gave up on this team on this season. The pass incomplete here, intended for Teeter. But I think that speaks to his leadership and just how big of a football junkie he is. And Zach Kittley, hey, he hopes he comes back next season as well.
Yeah. And if he doesn't, they have Morton, who is waiting in the wings, another talented redshirt freshman that the staff and players really feel pretty good about going forward.
4th down, field goal attempt coming for Trey Wolf. 2 for 3 tonight. This effort from 26. And a glorified extra point. This time splits the uprights. Well, a frustrated Lane Kiffin. Certainly a story in the 4th quarter, but the bigger component of this game, Texas Tech, now with a 35-13 lead. College football playoff semifinals. MegaCast is coming your way Saturday, December 31st on ESPN. Across the ESPN family of networks. Number 2, Michigan taking on 3rd-ranked TCU in the Verbo Fiesta Bowl. That's at 4 Eastern, noon Pacific. The number 1 Georgia, 4th-ranked Ohio State meeting finally. That's in the Chick-fil-A Peach Bowl. Winners, of course, will play Monday, January 9th on ESPN. And I tell you what, you can watch those games however you see fit with all of the options available with MegaCast. And it's always a great time of year when we reach the end of college football's postseason. It is almost upon us. And for the record, I think TCU is going to beat Michigan.
Yeah, you have gone out on that limb, big guy.
Twitter will remind me if I'm wrong in several days, but I don't think I am.
They can hold up along the line of scrimmage like Texas Tech has tonight against Ole Miss. It gives them a chance, a really good chance. Because we know TCU is going to move the football. You know they're going to score points. Just got to find a way to hang in there at the line of scrimmage on both lines of scrimmages, offense and defense.
Down to Ian.
Guys, you see the Texas Tech head coaching staff, and along with the head coach Joey McGuire, has a T-shirt on underneath his pullover. It just says "Swing Your Sword." The coach is wearing that arm patch you see there. That is in honor of Mike Leach, and we are all great friends with one of the great innovative minds, not just in college football, but all of football. And the last conversation I had with him, it ranged from everything how LSU has the greatest mascot because they have a live tiger. And he said, you're not guaranteed when you go to a zoo to see a live tiger. But at LSU, you see a live tiger. And Mike, to how rodeo clowns might be the greatest athletes on the planet. The only kind of stuff you get like that is from one of the great innovative minds, the great characters who was all about just not what you thought of him, just he was just him. He didn't care what you thought of him. The great Mike Leach. We'll miss him.
Authentic. We will. Well said. Pass caught for a first down. If you're tuning in late,
no doubt about it.
He did. It was unfortunate because the Liberty Bowl went so long. We were moved over to ESPN News to start this one. Texas Tech, their former head coach's honor, Mike Leach, lined up in an air raid formation to start this game with the wide splits. Did not snap the football, penalized for delay of game. Lane Kiffin, good friend of Mike Leach, rival of Mike Leach, declined the penalty in a show of respect for one of the all-time greats. Red Raiders posted that on their social media accounts. I would encourage you to check that out, as Mike Leach certainly we miss for a long time. Good run by Dart ahead to the 30 and a gain of 22.
Nice run there by Dart. Still a little bit slow to get up, and I thought it was the sleeve and the elbow. He's reaching in there in the shoulder area, trying to keep himself loose.
Judkins straight ahead. Judkins with a big gainer. Stopped inside the 10, a gain of 21. One of his longer plays of the night for the talented freshman.
Got a lineman down, Micah Pettis. The right tackle is still down. Kind of got rolled up on by Hutchins.
Pettis remains down. We'll step aside with an injury timeout.
The College Football Playoff Semifinals, Saturday, December 31st on ESPN.
College Football Playoff is here. Michigan, impressive. Their second consecutive playoff appearance. Back-to-back Big Ten championships. First time that's happened since 03-04. And listen, Jim Harbaugh, he's got them rolling. There's no doubt about it. It should be an all-time classic against TCU. Play action out of the injury timeout and intended for Mingo. Jeremy James came in to replace Micah Pettis, the injured right tackle.
The coverage by Malik Dunlap right there with one of the more talented wide receivers in college football, and Jonathan Mingo. Excellent coverage on the back end.
Hey, props to him for coming and playing in this game, because we have seen opt-outs in other games.
No doubt.
We didn't really see those in this one. Sandwich inside the 10. Hutchings brought down Judkins. No gain on the play.
Well, I'll tell you what, Bradford was there as well to help out. Hutchings has played like a grown man tonight.
I mean, to keep Judkins to 68 yards on 22 touches,
No
that's
doubt.
very impressive. Third and goal. Approaching the halfway point of the fourth quarter. Dart takes off. Dart diving for the end zone with the flip and the touchdown. 9-yard run, and that one hurt. It was close. Dart is still down.
He has been, that shoulder has been giving him trouble since the first half, and he got flipped up and may have landed on it. Oh yeah. The adrenaline initially, and then the pain settles in just shortly after.
Rabbit upended him. He stays alive, and the ball comes out crossing the goal line. That's a magnificent touchdown. When he's given the Rebels everything he possibly could tonight. He's been under duress. We mentioned that sleeve coming on the right arm shortly after halftime. Took a tough hit near the end of the first half. 35-19 after that score, and still time left in this one for Ole Miss.
Would you have believed it if I told you Texas Tech would be the more physical team in this game tonight?
We felt like they were undersized compared to Ole Miss, just looking at the two teams at times this week. So probably yes would be my answer. Luke Altmaier's the backup quarterback. He's in the transfer portal. He's also playing in this game if they need him, and they will on this 2-point play.
He can throw it around now. He can spin it. Watched him in warm up, and very, very impressed with the way he can throw the football around.
Last instruction from Lane Kiffin.
How many times in our travels this year do we hear, oh, the Big 12 plays defense. Big 12's better defensively. Well, I think it's on full display here tonight.
Rebels 1 for 3 in 2-point plays. All those coming in the last 2 ball games. Like to make this a 2-touchdown affair here. Altmaier on the field for the first time, retreating off the back foot. Heaves it incomplete. Mingo in the area, covered by Dunlap.
That time, all of a sudden things start to break down. Just trying to give Trigg an opportunity to catch one. A little too high for Trigg.
35-19. You got 2 timeouts left. 7:35 to go. You looking onside kick here?
Maybe not so this early. But you need a 3-and-out. That's for sure. Texas Tech's going to line up expecting an onside kick.
Were you on the hands team back in the day, or they keep you off that?
Kept me off of that one.
Even in high school?
I think I was on the hands team the first week that we played, or in college, first week we played Oklahoma State. And that was it. Next week I was under center in a full-time capacity.
Red Raiders expecting an onside attempt here. Cruz looking towards his left, acting like he's going to try to squib one that direction. Rebels 1 for 4 in the onside kick department this year. Did recover an attempt back in mid-October against Auburn. Looking for that second big hop. And that one caroms out of bounds untouched. That's a penalty flag. Cruz would love to have that opportunity back.
Free kick out of bounds. Kicking team. 5-yard penalty will be added to the spot where the ball went out of bounds. First down.
Well, it has been the Tyler Shuck show tonight. He's thrown for 242. He's rushed for another 100. A couple of touchdowns on the ground. Real difference maker early tonight.
And tough down inside the red zone to deal with, and not only on the ground but obviously through the air. And when they've needed plays, he has come up time after time and delivered for Texas Tech offensively.
Start another possession in Ole Miss territory. 4-yard gain on first down. Told you Shuck started his career at Oregon. This year as a starter, looking to improve to 5-0 on the season. Came back from that injury. Really, if you go back and look at what happened with Texas Tech this year, injuries at quarterback, he lost 4 out of 5 in that middle portion of the schedule. Donovan Smith played well at times. He's now in the transfer portal. But Shuck has really given head coach Joey McGuire, Red Raiders, their best chance to win this season, it feels like.
Just seems like this offense sets up perfectly for Tyler Shuck. His arm talent and the receivers they have.
Coach McGuire was talking to the media this week in Houston, also with us, made sure to mention that this team this year with the highest GPA in school history at well over 3.1, 83 different players with GPAs. We got you of 3.0 or higher. And very prideful of the academics, the facilities we told you about, and now on the verge of improving to 8-5 in year number 1. The wins against Oklahoma and Texas and just an endless fountain of energy. I think that's the one thing that, you know, we all realize once again in talking with him this week. Vincey's been around him a little bit more over the years living in Texas, and we've gleaned a lot from him. But certainly the future appears to be bright in Lubbock, and things have changed quickly, going from Matt Wells to Joey McGuire. And now into 2023, who knows what this program is capable of.
I think you can just spend about 5 minutes around Joey McGuire, Coach McGuire, and you realize they got the right guy at Texas Tech. They're going to be able to recruit because of all of his relationships throughout the state with high school coaches where he came from. And look out. There are bright days ahead for this Texas Tech program. I don't think this is a flash in the pan, this type of performance tonight. You're going to see more and more of those, and as they add players to this program, it's going to be one that we keep our eyes on for years to come.
86 plays so far this evening. Talked a lot about OU and Texas. How about the win against Kansas? Kickstart what appears to be now a 4-game win streak to close the season. They gutted one out on the road up in Ames, won it just 14-10. The losses this year, the common denominator, the turnovers. NC State, Carter Finley Stadium in Raleigh comes to mind. Look at this punishing run. Cameron Valdez. Well, the ball came out.
The ball came out before he crossed. Poked out by Miles Battle. How about that heads-up play by Battle? This is where you got to make sure.
With the ball in the field of play,
there's no
which
doubt.
Then went into and through the end zone and over the end line. Result of the play is a touchback. First down.
Oh, what a play by Battle.
Cameron Valdez is looking for his first touchdown of the season, and instead Miles Battle happened. Rebels get it back, 5:40 to go in Houston. Well, let's take you back in time 20 years. Cliff Kingsbury, the quarterback for Texas Tech. Ole Miss, Mike Leach, David Cutcliffe, and a bunch of familiar names back in the day. Red Raiders would find a way to win this one. Big plays galore. Eli Manning, yeah, remember him? He played in Oxford. The Red Raiders win it 42-28 in Lubbock. One of 6 previous meetings between these two teams.
Clifford saying, hey, I represent it. Now you guys go represent.
No question. Jackson Dart remains on the field after appeared to being injured on that touchdown. And for more on that, we check in with Ian.
When he went into the injury tent, he had a glazed look about him, guys. And then, I mean, to the point where it looked like he got into the ring with Mike Tyson in his prime. He's got a limp to him right now. The right shoulder, right elbow, it's hurting him. When I asked Ole Miss officials, describe Jackson Dart coming out of the injury tent, what's ailing him, the word was one word: everything.
Yeah, Tony Bradford took a shot, number 2 in blue and white, moments ago as well in that last play. 2nd and 10. Try a little trickery. And it goes nowhere. Loss of 7. Watkins bottled up. Merriweather sniffing everything out.
Yeah, it's getting to a point where you almost have to protect Jackson Dart from himself. We're beating up a little bit. Maybe be time to go to Altmaier and let him close this thing out.
Certainly showing you his toughness. Just a sophomore. Sack, 7-yard loss. This one heaved. This will be a first down and a big play coming from Malik Heath. 29 on 3rd and long.
Heath is slow to get up. This tackle, and then he took a pretty good shot at the end of it.
Tyler Owens finally brought him down. Rabbit Taylor Demerson probably should have had him there. And he still on the turf. He'll started his career at Mississippi State. Of course, he was shaken up here in the news. Passing of Mike Leach. Talked a little bit about that with Lane Kiffin this week, and now Heath will be helped to his feet. It appears to be okay. Now, fans, make sure you tune in to the ESPN app for the Capital One post game. That immediately follows the conclusion of the TaxAct Texas Bowl. And Joe McGuire hoping he's going to be the one on the stage accepting the trophy and the hardware, and a 4-game winning streak to close out 2022. A little over 4 minutes to do exactly that. His team ahead 35-19.
Gotta be impressed with the effort his team has played with tonight. Felt like they were ready. Told us that yesterday, and they have proven it tonight.
Here's that E word, effort. He said he wears it on a hat every Tuesday for practice. He feels like this team fully bought in. Off the blitz. Dart was hit again. Watkins fell down. No penalty flag. Dart wants one. He won't get it. And the pressure came in from Eldridge.
Yeah, Eldridge got there. Merriweather, he went airborne. Zach Evans picked him up on the blitz, but he clogged up a passing lane initially, which allowed another defender, Eldridge, to come through freely on Jackson Dart.
Dart slings it, triple coverage, big collision, incomplete. Heath went down again and then pops right back up.
It looked like that was going to be Taylor Demerson on the back end. Thought he was going to have an interception.
Possible targeting.
Now Merriweather turned into Superman on that previous play and was 25 yards down the field on that one. And another look to the replay booth. Michael Webster looking for targeting.
I don't think so. He is defenseless, but see the other indicators for targeting.
Hit him right in the chest.
Not the head or neck area.
And kind of turned to the side, leading with the arms initially as well, just for a moment.
So much so that he
After
pulled
further
up.
review, there is no foul for targeting. Third down.
He pulled up to not engage and hit Heath. He could have actually gone at him a little harder than that.
Now, 2 Rebels ejected tonight for targeting on plays that were fairly straightforward. Troy Brown, Darius Tennyson certainly has been a factor tonight. 3rd down and 10. Red Raiders show a 4-man front, and they have been tough to move the ball against this evening. And a handoff. Zach Evans needed 10, and he will get it, I believe. 1st down.
How good is this combination of Evans and Judkins? You got the speed and elusiveness in Evans, and then the power of Judkins coming at you, and they feed off one another tremendously.
Talked about the health of Zach Evans. He rushed for 900 yards in the regular season. Get it on the swing pass here. Try to save some time getting out of bounds. Gain of 5. He's got a chance at the next level, wouldn't you think?
Well, I think absolutely he does. Great size, 6 foot 215. He's got speed. Catch the ball out of the backfield. Showed you that he can pick up blitzers where he did it with Merriweather a couple plays ago. Like everything about it.
4 grabs tonight in the air. Credit the Red Raiders. Again, that defense is keeping Ole Miss rushing attack in check for the most part. Judkins finds a little daylight. Tripped up crossing the 20. Gain of 23.
There's that 1-2 punch we were just talking about. Evans with a catch for positive yards, and then all of a sudden here comes Judkins with a big run. This is Malik Dunlap, who is down for Texas Tech.
Ole Miss not going away. You know, trailing here by 16. You get a touchdown, a 2-point conversion, an onside kick. You know, things start to become a little more interesting. And Judkins with that last run, now the second all-time leading rusher by an SEC freshman. Trailing now only Herschel Walker. So over 1,550 yards this season. He's got 91 tonight.
It didn't look like he was going to get anywhere close to 100 early in this ball game, the way Texas Tech was defending against the run and making it just tough for Evans and Judkins to get going.
Now Lane Kiffin went into Alabama, offered him the scholarship first. Judkins stayed true to his commitment. That has paid off in a big way this year. Future so bright for number 4. He will be a cornerstone for this team years to come. Freshman of the year in the SEC. Dart out of the stoppage and a one-handed grab. Front part of the end zone. It was Heath.
That's a heck of a catch.
How did he make that play? Falling down, a one-handed catch.
Adrian Fry in coverage, but boy, Heath made one heck of a grab. Just used his size at 6'3" to kind of fight and freed his left hand up. That's going to be on a few highlight reels and shows over the weekend.
And give me a SportsCenter top 10. Give me critical play in a moment where Ole Miss desperately needed it. Still with a chance here, trailing by 10 and going for 2.
Yeah, an onside kick coming up. You know it. You know it's coming.
Big play here. This to make it a 1-possession game. This crowd comes back to life, over 53,000 strong. Dart steps up, heaves it incomplete. Contact in the end zone, no flag. Intended for Watkins, covered by Eldridge.
Watkins thought he was interfered with, but it was just pretty good coverage on the back end by Eldridge. Have a case. Turned around, still got the arm.
That's pass interference.
Yeah, that's pass interference, my man.
And now Lane Kiffin has something
That's a legit gripe
to talk about. And that is a big no call. 3:10 to go. Ole Miss with 1 timeout remaining. You said it, Trey. Another onside kick likely coming from Jonathan Cruz. At the end of the night, Ole Miss now with almost 500 yards of total offense.
really big if they convert there on the 2-point conversion.
(35-25). Cruz looking towards his left, now back towards the right. A different approach. Caught cleanly. Off and running, and a touchdown for Texas Tech. It was Fungi. A 44-yard kickoff return for a score.
The result of the play is a touchdown.
Fungi with a heads-up play. Just about sealed the deal for his team. I mean, heads-up play, nobody in front of him. Just sprint to the end zone.
Maybe the easiest touchdown he has in his career. Junior out of Midland, Texas. Big numbers tonight, receiving 100 yards through the air, exactly on 7 catches.
It's crazy. He will be back along with Bradley on the other side. There's some weapons for whomever takes snaps at quarterback for Texas Tech next year.
And Taj Brooks, just a junior for Joey McGuire. His team now out in front 42-25, just over 3 minutes to go.
Shown up and played some really, really good football tonight.
Now you go back to Joey McGuire. He won 3 state championships at Cedar Hill High School. Was finally brought up to the college ranks by Matt Rule at Baylor in 2017. Became an associate head coach in Waco. And then when this job came open, Matt Wells was let go middle part of last season. Didn't take long for kind of everything to come together for his campaign in Lubbock. There was the interview process, was named the head coach. And virtually everybody associated with high school football or football in Texas at any level would tell you he was deserving of this opportunity, that he would do a great job. And I mean, we have seen all of that come to fruition this season. Wade has it, and he'll be stopped short of the 20. College football playoff semifinals just about here on ESPN, ESPN Deportes, also on the ESPN app. Number 2, Michigan against number 3 TCU in the Verbo Fiesta Bowl. That's at 4 Eastern, New Year's Eve. Then it's number 1 Georgia, 4th ranked Ohio State. Chick-fil-A Peach Bowl winners will play Monday, January 9th on ESPN for the championship. Can Georgia repeat? Have we given enough love to Kirby Smart, Stetson Bennett, the Bulldogs, and that incredible defense this season?
I think so. I think they're the best team in college football. And Ohio State's got a tall order to go take them on. That's for sure.
Buckeyes didn't look great in that last game against Michigan. But you always feel like Ryan Day has something to prove. And C.J. Stroud, we know he's going to be a first-round draft pick at quarterback. There are weapons. Rebels get it back. Judkins goes backwards after grabbing that pass. Racing to daylight. Wow. To the 26. Another tackle for Eldridge. Busy day tomorrow as well. You got 3 bowl games. It'll conclude the Alamo Bowl just down the road in San Antonio tomorrow night.
Felt like Syracuse was a bowl team early in the year when we saw them, and behold, they end up in a bowl game tomorrow.
He started fast, didn't finish strong. 2 penalty flags on the field, make it 3. Pass was intended for Heath, covered by Owens.
Illegal substitution defense. 5-yard penalty results in a first down.
I like bowl games played in baseball stadiums. Is that weird to say?
Really?
Yankee Stadium, you had the Wasabi Fenway Bowl earlier. At Fenway Park, obviously. It's just different.
Had a game there once with Princeton and Dartmouth. It's a really good game. That's where I first learned that the Yankees were the first baseball team with numbers on the jerseys, and it was through the batting order, which is why Babe Ruth was number 3. He batted 3rd in the batting order.
Look at you dropping some baseball knowledge. Dart throws one, and it's caught by Brown. 11-yard gain and a first down. I mean, you could do one at Wrigley Field. That would be kind of cool.
Just played in Fenway, right? They converted it and had games there before.
First down. Jordan Watkins that time. Think about the new look Big 12 next season. You've got 4 teams coming in. We're unsure of when Texas and Oklahoma will formally depart to go to the SEC, but it's going to be a different conference. I mean, Joe McGuire talked about that with us this week, that they have to make sure that they're keeping up with everybody. The facility upgrades we talked about totaling $200 million. That started as soon as the comeback against OU was complete. The Big 12 will look different in the coming seasons. Cincinnati, BYU, UCF, and Houston as Evans picks up 16 more.
Interesting. one to believe that those two will be gone by 23. Oklahoma and Texas.
By next year.
Yeah, I think so. I think they find a way to get that done.
The 12-team playoff coming, that's certainly changing things. Heath has that pass batted down. He's got the second bowl game today, and in fact tonight, with over 1,000 yards of combined offense.
Well, theirs doesn't count. It took them a couple of overtimes to get there.
3, in fact, extending well into our first quarter. Announcers are always territorial with those time slots. Evans the handoff. Now the TCU transfer picks up 4 there. Another tackle for Eldridge. Give him credit for playing in this game. The fact that he's healthy, approaching 1,000 yards this season. Very impressive. Told you about his draftability coming up. Mingo dropped it.
Not one you see him drop very often. Sure-handed receiver that usually will make a play like that. And that was a heck of a throw by Dart.
Well, it's
battled all game long, been beaten and bruised, and is still in there competing.
4th down. Less than a minute to go. Crosser available. Heath has it. That'll move the sticks and a lot more. Credit Ole Miss not giving up. Waters brought him down, a gain of 25. Not a game that has been a little bit lower scoring than many expected. Some perhaps still watching.
Ole Miss, their 3rd and final of the half.
To see exactly what happens here. Take a look at tonight's Capital One player of the game, Tyler Shuck. Over 100 yards on the ground, over 240 through the air, but a true difference maker first 2 quarters, no doubt. Physical runner tonight, too.
Yeah, when he got his team in the red zone, especially down inside the 5, he just put them on his shoulder. A couple of touchdown runs, as you mentioned there, but was not going to go away without the big points, as I like to allude to. And I think we got it right with him being the player of the game. No doubt about it.
And if this game was being played on a Friday night, he would grab that Friday night spotlight, the
Exactly
Friday night
right.
phenom.
Give him a Wednesday night phenom reference.
I'm sure we can come up with some kind of crafty alliteration for that award, but Shuck has been the real deal. So is that man. Rebels have it 1st and 10, just outside the 10. Running out of time, and Dart is going to be intercepted in the end zone. Tyler Owens, and that will officially do it. The pressure by Isaac Smith, and Joey McGuire and his Red Raiders can now celebrate.
What a game, and what it's going to do for Jackson Dart is send him to the offseason to work. He will have that in the back of his head, this performance in the back of his head all offseason, and will motivate him to be much better as he enters 2023.
He threw for 361 yards tonight. He had the 2 touchdowns, but the 3 interceptions obviously costly. And Texas Tech will conclude first season under Joey McGuire with a bang. 4 straight wins to close out 2022. 8-5 in year number 1. He says, I'm a high school coach that coaches college football. Coach, you're at the next level now, and big things on the horizon in Lubbock. (42-25) our final score. And Lane Kiffin's squad, a great start at 7-0. Their season will end at 8-5 here in the TaxAct Texas Bowl. Red Raiders victorious 42-25 our final. For Andre Ware, Ian Fitzsimmons, and myself, Roy Philpott, thanks for watching. good night from H-Town. Up next, Sports Center with Scott Van Pelt.